Are you looking for some good food after a Fenwick football game? Then head on over to O'Sullivan's Public House. Located on Madison Street in Forest Park, O'Sullivan's Public House has daily drink specials alongside a year-round beer garden. Open daily from 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. O'Sullivan's PH offers dinner until 10 p.m. Even cooler, O'Sullivan's offers a late-night menu until 11:30 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. On the weeknights, O'Sullivan's has a late-night menu until 11 p.m. And for the fall season, O'Sullivan's will offer 20% off food for athletes and coaches following home Fenwick games. For more information, go online to o'sullivansfp.com.
Sure, my family loves me. They bought me this sweet new collar. My dog bowl is always full of Fido's finest. Heck, they even take care of the personal stuff on my walk. Come on, who does that? But what really sealed the deal for me was when they installed a security system from Forest Security. Hey, I'm no watchdog, you know? Forest Security offers the latest in technology and security for our home. Yeah, I'm pretty good at keeping an eye on things, but I also have stuff to do, like sleep and socialize. A smart security system can provide around-the-clock awareness and generate instant smartphone alerts. They let the family know if something is wrong or suspicious. They do all of the work for us, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You know what they say, you can't trust a dog to watch your house or your sandwich. Call Forest Security today.
Call us today at 708-452-2000 or visit forestsecurity.com.
Sure, my family loves me. They bought me this sweet new collar. My dog bowl is always full of Fido's finest. Heck, they even take care of the personal stuff on my walk. Come on, who does that? But what really sealed the deal for me was when they installed a security system from Forest Security. Hey, I'm no watchdog, you know? Forest Security offers the latest in technology and security for our home. Yeah, I'm pretty good at keeping an eye on things, but I also have stuff to do, like sleep and socialize. A smart security system can provide around-the-clock awareness and generate instant smartphone alerts. They let the family know if something is wrong or suspicious. They do all of the work for us, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You know what they say, you can't trust a dog to watch your house or your sandwich. Call Forest Security today.
Call us today at 708-452-2000 or visit forestsecurity.com.
Are you looking for some good food after a Fenwick football game? Then head on over to O'Sullivan's Public House. Located on Madison Street in Forest Park, O'Sullivan's Public House has daily drink specials alongside a year-round beer garden. Open daily from 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. O'Sullivan's PH offers dinner until 10 p.m. Even cooler, O'Sullivan's offers a late-night menu until 11:30 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. On the weeknights, O'Sullivan's has a late-night menu until 11 p.m. And for the fall season, O'Sullivan's will offer 20% off food for athletes and coaches following home Fenwick games. For more information, go online to o'sullivansfp.com.
Before we celebrated this special night, before we fell in love with our home all over again, we searched for a company to handle our entire remodel, from architecture and material selection to permits and complete construction with impeccable design. We found Heirroom.
Visit the Heirroom Design Build Center in Lincolnwood to explore your home's potential. Heirroom. Architects, builders, remodelers. Your project begins at heirroom.com.
Sure, my family loves me. They bought me this sweet new collar. My dog bowl is always full of Fido's finest. Heck, they even take care of the personal stuff on my walk. Come on, who does that? But what really sealed the deal for me was when they installed a security system from Forest Security. Hey, I'm no watchdog, you know? Forest Security offers the latest in technology and security for our home. Yeah, I'm pretty good at keeping an eye on things, but I also have stuff to do, like sleep and socialize. A smart security system can provide around-the-clock awareness and generate instant smartphone alerts. They let the family know if something is wrong or suspicious. They do all of the work for us, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You know what they say, you can't trust a dog to watch your house or your sandwich. Call Forest Security today.
Call us today at 708-452-2000 or visit forestsecurity.com.
Before we celebrated this special night, before we fell in love with our home all over again, we searched for a company to handle our entire remodel, from architecture and material selection to permits and complete construction with impeccable design. We found Heirroom.
Visit the Heirroom Design Build Center in Lincolnwood to explore your home's potential. Heirroom, architects, builders, remodelers. Your project begins at heirroom.com.
There are only two kinds of people in this world. Those who get committed and those who don't.
Before you find yourself in a housing standoff, get committed. Visit our website to learn more.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Kyle Smith alongside Bob Vilsoe. It's 7:14 p.m., which means it's about some time for some IHSA varsity football. St. Francis on the road taking on Fenwick. Bob, both teams are 2-1, and the quarterback for St. Francis, Alessio Milivojevic, he's going to Ball State next year.
Well, and the way that you pronounce the name, I'm going to let you pronounce that name all night long because I don't think I'll ever get it right. But yeah, he's an excellent quarterback. Now he's, according to Max Preps, he's thrown for like 254 yards, which might be low if he were Justin Fields, right? But he's a high school quarterback. St. Francis offense is about 50-50 run pass, according to the coordinators we were talking earlier, and they have obviously a very, very good offense. St. Francis, they're 2-1, right? So they beat St. Lawrence 43-28, and then they defeated Sterling 42-28, and again 28 points on the loss side. But then they lost to Downers Grove North 22-27. So the other team always scores 27 or 28 points, but they have a high-powered offense. Then you go to Fenwick. Fenwick's got a strong offense and a terrific defense. They've only given up 21 points to Providence Catholic. Then they gave up 13 points to St. Ignatius, who has a terrific triple option offense, and then 13 points only against OPRF. So I'm going out on a limb with the prediction. I'm saying St. Francis is going to win this game 35-28, and I'm going out on a limb with that because I don't know how St. Francis is going to get 35 points against Fenwick's G defense. But if this were a Las Vegas game, this is one that you would say is a pick'em game. Both teams are 2-1, both are strong, and nobody knows who's going to win this one yet.
St. Francis, they're an early addition. This is their first year in the Chicago Catholic League, Bob. Do you think they're a little bit threatened at all, or a little bit feel like they
they need a sense of belonging for a win in this game?
Well, this Catholic League is a very, very, very tough league. So, there's going to be a lot of, awakening, so to speak. But they're a strong team, so they're going to fit right in. And that's obviously why they got into the conference, right? But what a strong conference.
It's homecoming tonight for Fenwick. If you're Fenwick, do you play with more of a sense of urgency than other home games that you would this year?
I'd like to think that that's true, but I think if I'm a player, I always give 100% all the time. It sounds cliche, but no, I don't take one game more seriously than another. I don't try more in one game than another. And if I'm coaching, I coach every game like it's my last, and I want to do the best that I possibly can. The one blemish that St. Francis does have, though, is it did get beat by Downers Grove North, a non-Catholic League team.
So we're going to take a break. More Fenwick and St. Francis football coming up next on SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sure, my family loves me. They bought me this sweet new collar. My dog bowl is always full of Fido's finest. Heck, they even take care of the personal stuff on my walk. Come on, who does that? But what really sealed the deal for me was when they installed a security system from Forest Security. Hey, I'm no watchdog, you know? Forest Security offers the latest in technology and security for our home. Yeah, I'm pretty good at keeping an eye on things, but I also have stuff to do, like sleep and socialize. A smart security system can provide around-the-clock awareness and generate instant smartphone alerts. They let the family know if something is wrong or suspicious. They do all of the work for us, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You know what they say, you can't trust a dog to watch your house or your sandwich. Call Forest Security today.
Call us today at 708-452-2000 or visit forestsecurity.com.
Are you looking for some good food after a Fenwick football game? Then head on over to O'Sullivan's Public House. Located on Madison Street in Forest Park, O'Sullivan's Public House has daily drink specials alongside a year-round beer garden. Open daily from 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. O'Sullivan's PH offers dinner until 10 p.m. Even cooler, O'Sullivan's offers a late-night menu until 11:30 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. On the weeknights, O'Sullivan's has a late-night menu until 11 p.m. And for the fall season, O'Sullivan's will offer 20% off food for athletes and coaches following home Fenwick games. For more information, go online to o'sullivansfp.com.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. SBS offers live telecasts on Channel 59.3, YouTube, or Twitch. We include pre- and post-game interviews with the players.
You know, I started in the locker room. All the boys were getting going before the game and stuff, and we kind of found a little click at the beginning of the game, so I think that's what got us going.
We also include digital live statistics, play-by-play commentary, team highlight reels, and even more than that. Go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com or search Sports Broadcast Solutions on YouTube. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. At SBS, we offer a professional broadcasting experience for the non-professional athlete. Just like the pros, we offer everything for you. Play-by-play commentary.
A no-hitter at Kane County Stadium. 15 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 error, and that's it.
Color commentary, highlight reels, recruiting videos, and much, much more. Unlike our competitors, we zoom in on the action and always have a live scoreboard with a live time code. If you're ready to have your next sporting event feel like CBS Sports, then make sure to call Sports Broadcast Solutions today. Our phone number is 330-957-7653, or you can go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Missing your child's sporting event just plain stinks. But you don't have to worry about that anymore, thanks to Sports Broadcast Solutions. SBS is a live broadcasting network, as well as covering your on-demand needs, recruiting videos, highlight reels, and much, much more. We can broadcast live to any website, and we also post as much on-demand content as you need. For more information about SBS, check out our website at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Let SBS broadcast your sporting event. We have experience and can generate excitement and permanent digital memories for your team.
Tonight. That time, finally a goal for the Stampede!
We have professional videographers using high-definition modern-day cameras, color analysts, and play-by-play announcers with state-of-the-art, classy graphical scoreboards to keep you up.
Never do video capture. Good evening, everybody. Kyle Smith alongside Bob Vilsoe. I'm Kyle Smith alongside Bob Vilsoe as it's game's about to start in 10 minutes and 52 seconds. St. Francis, a new addition to the Chicago Catholic League, but the good news is they got Milivojevic, a quarterback, and his younger brother, wide receiver Dario Milivojevic.
You always like it. And then, of course, Ball State, who's getting, and I can't pronounce his name, but who's getting Alessio, hopefully can get Dario in the future as well. Usually the genes don't fall very far from the tree, so if the older brother is good, the younger brother is oftentimes even better. So here's a case where they can throw it to each other, pitch and catch, just like they were doing it when they were growing up, now that with 22 players on the field.
What's your prediction tonight, Bob? Fenwick's the home team. They know this football field a little bit better than St. Francis. I'm going to give a slight edge to Fenwick, but they are reeling after losing last week.
Well, you're right on. I mean, any normal person might say Fenwick has got a little bit of an edge because they are at home. And if this were Las Vegas, clearly it's a pick'em game. Both teams are 2-1. But when you start to analyze the scores on who St. Francis is 2-1 against, who Fenwick is 2-1 against, and the points scored and everything, I'm making a prediction. I think I'm out on a limb a little bit, but I'm picking St. Francis to win 35-28. But Fenwick's defense is very, very stingy, so I'm not exactly sure how St. Francis is going to score those points. Is the quarterback going to run for him, pass for him? Where are they going to come from?
Does it matter at all that St. Francis is riding a 2-game winning streak and Fenwick is on the so-called 1-game losing streak?
Are you looking for some good food after a Fenwick football game? Then head on over to O'Sullivan's Public House. Located on Madison Street in Forest Park, O'Sullivan's Public House has daily drink specials alongside a year-round beer garden. Open daily from 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. O'Sullivan's PH offers dinner until 10 p.m. Even cooler, O'Sullivan's offers a late-night menu until 11:30 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. On the weeknights, O'Sullivan's has a late-night menu until 11 p.m. And for the fall season, O'Sullivan's will offer 20% off food for athletes and coaches following home Fenwick games. For more information, go online to o'sullivansfp.com.
Before we celebrated this special night, before we fell in love with our home all over again, we searched for a company to handle our entire remodel, from architecture and material selection to permits and complete construction with impeccable design. We found Airroom.
Visit the Airroom Design Build Center in Lincolnwood to explore your home's potential. Airroom, architects, builders, remodelers. Your project begins at airroom.com.
Selection to permits and complete construction with impeccable design. We found Airroom.
Sorry about that. We're right back. I'm Kyle Smith alongside Bob Bilsoe. As Fenwick about to take on St. Francis. The text line's open. Your favorite high school, college, or NFL memory. Text 330-957-7653.
Hey, it's no fun unless we have some technical difficulties to overcome, right?
Yeah, I guess.
But you were talking about that St. Francis 2-game winning streak, right? They began the year losing to Downers Grove North, not Catholic League, right? And then they beat Sterling 42-28, and then they beat St. Lawrence 43-28.
National anthem coming up next, so we'll take a break, and play-by-play broadcast coming up next here on SBS.
kingdom where you live and reign with your Son and the Holy Spirit, God forever and ever. Amen. St. Francis, pray for us. St. Dominic, pray for us. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. And now, please remain standing for the playing of our national anthem, performed by the Fenwick Band.
Good evening, everybody. Kyle Smith alongside Bob Vilsaway as we're about to. Well, Bob, should be a good one. St. Francis against Fenwick here on SBS, the broadcasting network for everyone.
Oh, it is going to be a good one. St. Francis is 2-1. Fenwick is 2-1. It's going to be a barn burner of a game, right? St. Francis has won the last two games they played. They beat St. Lawrence 43-28. They beat Sterling 42-28. And then they lost their first game of the year against Downers Grove North, not in the Catholic League.
Kickoff coming up for the the Fenwick Friars.
So this is when we can step in and say the Fenwick Friars are in the black jerseys, right? And then St. Francis is in the blue and white. And of course the color announcer wouldn't be doing his job unless he said the helmets are blue and the shoes are blue and the shirts are white with blue numbering and blue pants, right?
Kicking off for St. Francis will be Liam Kolinsky. Nope, apologize. It's going to be Cooper Winslow. Kickoff inside the 15. Here come the Friars. Flag on the play, most likely going to be on Fenwick, as driven out of bounds on the return by Tommy Thies.
Yeah, it'll go back 10 yards. There looks like an unsportsmanlike conduct on the sideline as well. There looked like there was a lot of running room to the right. Tried to turn the corner, but obviously St. Francis was just too fast and pushed him out of bounds. Let's see what the penalty is about.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Friars. The Fenwick Friar fans want there to be a foul against St. Francis as well.
And there it is. It's holding on Fenwick, so that'll back it up 10 yards. Thought I saw a second flag on the sideline.
George Monty is holding on the Friars.
So it'll be about the 19-yard line, 16-yard line, something like that when they start. So 1st and 10, backed up in their own territory. Long way to go.
Not a great way to start. I know you want to give your ball carrier some room to run on the far sideline, but the officials are looking for that, and they found it. And it's actually going to be on St. Francis.
So holding on St. Francis, and the ball gets pushed upfield. I didn't see that coming. I figured it was a penalty on the kick return, not on the kick coverage.
Very rarely see defensive holding on a kick coverage.
Yeah. 34-yard line is where they start out.
So 66 yards to go for the end zone for Merrick Hill. Avion Brown in motion, and false start coming up against Fenwick.
So we've had 2 plays and 3 flags.
1st and 15. So we had 3 flags. The first flag was picked up, not called on Fenwick. It was instead called on St. Francis. And after all that, we're back to where the original line of scrimmage was after the return.
How about that? Right we are. But 1st and 15 instead of 1st and 10.
So 1st and 15. They're going to place at the 28.
So we'll see if we can get a playoff now without a flag, and it'll probably be that way the rest of the game. There'll probably be some flags, but not very many.
Shotgun for Hill. Screen pass coming up. Read well by the Spartans.
Yeah, that was a little screen pass right over the middle. Did a nice job goading the defensive line to go after the quarterback. They went forward, the screen pass underneath, and the 5-yard gain, 2nd and 10. Maybe 2nd and 9.
2nd and 8. 2nd and 8, they're going to place it at the 36. Shotgun. Handoff. A little bit slow developing play partner, and the Spartans were easy to get on that for the tackle.
Right, and only about a yard or 2 gains, so now they're going to be 3rd and 7. You almost got to feel like Fenwick's going to go to the air on this. They have a multifaceted offense. It's not like they're run only, so 3rd and long shouldn't phase them too much. They'd prefer it, obviously, to be 3rd and short.
What do you want to run here, an out route or a screen pass?
I want to throw slants, things on the run. I don't like, there's another probably a procedure penalty, so it's going to be a 3rd and 12.
Well, now you're in a very tough position.
Yeah. Again, I want to throw the ball, not exactly downfield, but when the receiver is going forward. I'm not a fan of those little, button hook passes where you go out 5 yards and look back at the quarterback. You have to run back toward the quarterback, and you want to turn it upfield. I like the slants where you're downfield already and you can continue on, and if a missed tackle happens, you can go a long way.
So 3rd and 12 at the 32. Another screen pass. The Spartans read that and snuffed it out right away.
Well, that's the thing about early in the game like this. You kind of have to feel out the defense. So it's tempting to air it out. You want to throw a 40 or 50-yard bomb, right, to move the defense back. But I think Fenwick is plotting carefully and, intentionally, right? So now they're going to have to punt on 4th down. But you don't want to throw it deep and get it intercepted. It's too early in the game to give up points that way. And Fenwick does have a strong defense, so I don't feel like if they're giving the ball up, they feel like the other team is going to score.
Punt formation for the Friars. The text line is 330-957-7653. Your favorite high school, college, and NFL memory. Pretty decent punt. As the hang time is there, no choice but to call for the fair catch. Almost dropped it. Right there for the recovery, if he had dropped it, was Tommy Thies.
I like the confidence of the kicker. He kind of throws the ball up and then kicks it. Most punters just about place the ball on the foot while they kick it so the wind can't blow it away. If it's a bad toss, it'll still be a good punt. But it was a very, very nice punt on that for the ball being tossed in the air and kicking it out of midair.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Friars at the 37-yard line. Sorry, 1st and 10 for the Spartans.
So we'll see if they can take it all the way downfield. This is their first possession. They are a strong offense, and if they're going to get 35 points in this game, they're going to need to start scoring early.
Handoff up the middle. That's a good way to start, Bob.
Yep, a few yards. 3 yards in a cloud of little rubber pellets on this turf field. I do feel like there was running room to the left. Fenwick did a good job pushing it back into the middle, so it was only a 2 or 3 yard gain.
3 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left.
It's not
a count, and they got Marshall to jump offside. Well, Marshall used to wear number 90. Now it's Colin Murray. Marshall was number 90 last year. Then he switched over to number 9 this year. Murray called for the offside.
That was a real nice time to get that 5 yard penalty. You know, 2nd and 2 is way better than 2nd and 7 or 8 early in this period.
And the defense doesn't really consider a hard count on 2nd and 7. Everybody knows it's happening on 3rd and 3 or 4th and 5. A 2nd and 7 hard count, that's a good job by Milivojevic to be creative there.
I like this run up the middle, 3 yards. The ball's right at the marker. Usually in high school, they give you the first down, even if you're not quite there. They fought tooth and nail for those yards. Looks like they're marking it short, but they're still moving the chains in typical high school fashion.
They're going to split the wide receivers, 1 in the backfield. Friars show blitz. Milivojevic taking his time.
Another flag.
There was people moving on both sides.
They're going to mark this against the offense, 5 yards back.
That's the problem too, partner. When you keep doing hard counts, sometimes your offensive linemen, either they miss practice or they've been injured. They haven't been at every practice where you try out different hard counts, and they don't know the exact snap count.
Boy, you hit that on the head. You know, player misses practice, you work on something like that, and you're offsides in the game as a result. It's amazing how important practice is. People think, well, you know, it's just practice.
Unless you're Allen Iverson.
I was thinking that as I said it.
Jim McMahon wasn't a fan of practice either. Did you watch the 85 Bears?
Oh, every game.
30 documentary?
Well, that I didn't. I felt like I lived through it, just like the Bears or the Bulls. I didn't need to see that documentary either.
Even in the 85 Bears documentary, Jim McMahon said, I like Sundays. I didn't like Wednesday, Thursday, Tuesday.
Right.
Shotgun formation, 1st and 15 for St. Francis. Clean pocket for Milivojevic. Out to the sideline, breaks through a tackle, still on his feet, brought down from behind, but good yards after catch there for the wide receiver in Zachary Washington.
And that's so key, because now you got 3rd and relatively short, you know, third and 2nd and 5 rather than, you know, 3rd and or 2nd and long. That broken tackle means a lot, those 5 extra yards.
And for Fenwick, you've got to have 1 man, 1 tackle tonight. When you continue to have swarming on tackles, it's going to create so many more problems for your defense.
Well, especially on those short passes. You just can't miss that tackle, because sometimes you're the only one there between you and an end zone. Certainly you're the only one there between you and a first down oftentimes. But that's the name of the game. And when we do make the tackles, you have to drive through the receiver to push him back, too. You can't just wait for the receiver or the running back to come to you and bowl you over and then go back, you know, 6 more feet, in other words, 2 yards. You have to drive into the ball carrier. Only a 3-man front.
2 in the backfield for St. Francis. Fakes the handoff. Clean pocket for Milivojevic. Has time as he dropped it off to Willis. Ian Willis had a heck of a game against Sterling. 2 touchdown receptions for Willis in that one.
Right, and he's clearly a deep threat, and Fenwick knows it, so they were playing off him. It almost looks like they can get Willis or 5 yards to the left almost any time they want. That could be a problem for Fenwick, because they can't keep giving that play up. So that's one of those adjustments. They're going to have to roll the cornerback tight and leave a safety behind them for deep coverage. And I think if I were St. Francis, I would run that over and over. We got another penalty called here? I didn't see a flag. Holding.
I don't mind the calls, Bob, but the problem with it is you have to keep calling those the rest of the game. You have to be consistent with those calls.
Yeah, alternatively, the players have to stop holding.
Right. So, you know, players and coaches always wonder that. Why did you call a holding that time and not the other time? Well, number one, we didn't see it, and we have to call everything consistently for both teams.
Well, the referees are definitely calling this one tight. At least they're starting out that way.
And that's the old adage. Do you want to watch a game with 15 holding penalties?
Yeah, well,
probably not, but if it's holding, it is holding.
Yeah, holding is holding if it really is happening. There's no reason to believe it's not. That's why the refs are calling it.
Pitch play to the right, blocking room in front, as it was a good run that time for Tyvon Ransom.
And they got the first down.
7:13 remaining as the clock stops briefly on a first down.
Taking the chain's kind of a long time to move. Maybe they're like, was there a penalty here too?
Slow and steady wins the race for St. Francis tonight. They are taking their time. Another flag.
This flag is way too quick.
We have a flag before the snap.
Might be sideline warning against St. Francis.
Too many men? No.
Remember, the defense has to be allowed time to sub. That's kind of a new rule. We saw it at the NFL. Remember, the Patriots used to run quick plays to not allow the defense to sub. That's changed in the modern day NFL and football in general. It's probably what they're telling the offense. You got to have time for the defense to sub.
I like this offense, though. They've driven about 30 yards despite a bunch of penalties in a row here.
Shotgun two in the backfield, screen pass wide open, had a lot of separation from the defensive back as he went out of bounds after getting several yards after catch.
That was a pass behind the line of scrimmage to the wide receiver on the right, and I can see why this guy's going to Ball State. He's got some snappiness to his arm. Gets the ball out to the sidelines very, very quickly. It's not going to be able to be intercepted. You can read that play, and he won't throw it, right? Then you get in the way, and he can go downfield with it. This is a good quarterback.
Staggered formation with the running backs, handoff as at least 4 yards on the carry, if not more, for St. Francis, as they're running it right down Fenwick's throat.
Well, you can say they're running it down their throat, but they're running and passing and passing and running. This multifaceted offense is doing a great job, and this quarterback's good.
Taking down by number 16, Eric Furjack. First down Spartans.
If you're Fenwick, do you consider blitzing a couple plays here to try to put Milovich in a position where he's a little bit uncomfortable?
I'm hearing you, but no, I would stay back. I don't want to say Tampa cover two, but here's going deep.
Milivojevic out to the right.
Just throws it away. The little timer popped in his head, and he says, okay, I'm throwing this out. Justin Fields on the Bears likes to take off and run or give himself an opportunity to get sacked. I like this. He threw the ball away when nobody was open. But I think if I'm on defense, I'm keeping all the receivers in front of me, let them catch the ball and then tackle them, and then hopefully one of those throws is errant or the receiver drops one, you get 3rd and long, and you can get off the field that way. But let them take short chunks of ground, but not all at once.
Shotgun. Handoff out to the left. Fenwick with a great tackle for a loss.
And that's what they needed to do. Now it's 3rd down and long, and they're playing good defense here. Now it's a little outside the field goal range would be my bet. So I think you're seeing 4-down territory here. So you don't have to get it all on one 8-yard pass here.
It was Thies and Furjack on the combined tackle to be 3rd and 9 at the 26.
And Fenwick's pushing up on the receivers. I like that for defense. Make it a tough one-on-one pass.
Another hard count by Milivojevic. Are you surprised that St. Francis is going with a lot of 2-man backfields instead of just single back formation?
Well, I was talking to the offensive coordinator earlier, and that's what they were saying. They use varied formations as well. Here comes a corner blitz from the right.
Out to the right, one-on-one coverage, back shoulder throw. It was deflected away, Parter, but it was a pretty decent throw. Only thing that the defensive back could do was knock it away. Could not pick that one off.
That is just absolutely perfect coverage on defense. There was nowhere to throw that ball, and he decided to try to thread the needle anyway, and the defensive back was right there. Good defense, good throw. I mean, both teams can make good plays at the same time. Right. So 4th down, they'll probably go for it.
On 4th and 9, well, if you don't trust your kicker, I always like to do pooch punts here, but I understand why you go for it.
Well, what would you get? 4 yards, maybe?
No, I mean, if you have a good punter, you get it inside the 10.
Maybe. I like the idea of going for it. I think I wouldn't have gone for the 20-yard pass, but that's what the defense gave them. Fenwick was playing the receivers tight.
Clean pocket for Milivojevic. He's going to throw it to the end zone. Wide open man, and overthrew it. The late hit might have impacted that pass.
Oh, the pass rush did everything. He threw it sooner than he wanted to, obviously, then out through the receiver, which you have to do. You have to throw it in such a way where the defender can't get it. However, on fourth down, when it's going to be a turnover, sometimes it's better to throw a toss-up, let either guy get it. Here was a case where neither person could get it. I think you're just ingrained as a quarterback to throw it where only your receiver can catch it, and that's why he overthrew it. But what a terrific pass rush. You were talking about blitzing earlier. That's what they did, and put him on his back.
Not a bad idea to throw it in the end zone, even if it's picked off. It's a touchback, basically where the original line of scrimmage was.
Where the pooch punt would have been, right?
Sacked on the play, and that's one that Merrick Hill, well, the pressure came almost instantly, but when you read that, try to maybe throw it at their feet to make it 2nd and 10, but you take the sack. It's better than throwing a pick, but 2nd and 15 is a lot worse than 2nd and 10.
Sure is, and let's not underestimate the St. Francis defense. That was a good time to push Fenwick back, and now Fenwick's 2nd and 15. Long way to go for a first down. St. Francis might get the ball right back again very soon.
2nd and 14 at the 22 with 4:47 to go. Man, oh man, it is just a nightmarish start for the Fenwick offense. Another false start against Fenwick.
Right. I think you have to say it is early in the season. This is the 4th game. I mean, not that early, but some of those kinks just aren't worked out yet. And I liked your comment, if somebody's not at practice. We don't know that that's actually the case here, but you got to get on the same page on the snap count.
You want to do hard counts, but if your offensive linemen don't know them, it creates a false start for your offense. That might have been dropped or hit the turf. Either way, it's incomplete.
Yeah, it bounced in, the short hopped it, and incomplete, right?
What do you want to do on 3rd and 19? Not a lot of plays in the playbook. Do you want to get something to your playmakers out in space, see if they can get 19 yards after catch?
I know what I like to do on this end, 3rd and long. You're probably going to punt this on the next play, but throw it downfield, back up the defense. If they do intercept it, it's almost as if it were a punt. And if you get it, you get the first down. But I would air it out. Yeah, absolutely go for the 40-yard bomb. But put 2 receivers out in coverage. They got 4 receivers out in coverage, so if there's any kind of pass rush at all, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, some coaches like to that little 2-yard pass, get it to their playmaker, their speedster out in space.
Well, that might be what they do here. They're sending it back out to the left.
Screen pass dropped. He was going to get tackled almost immediately if he had caught it. Anyways, 4th and 19, that'll stop the clock. Just a nightmarish start right now for the Fenwick offense.
Right, Fenwick is running into a very, very stingy St. Francis defense. But now St. Francis, though, they've given up 28 points, twice, and 27 points once. So teams can score on this defense. It's just that Fenwick hasn't figured out the lock combination yet for scoring, or for that matter, getting first downs. All right, I like watching this punter. He tosses the ball in the air and then kicks it out of midair, rather than some punters kind of like put it right at their toe when they boot it.
Nothing is ever guaranteed in special teams when it comes to high school football.
Yeah, that almost got blocked. I think you might want to improve that technique a bit. And St. Francis has the ball in Fenwick's side of the field. So no score yet, but field advantage so far to St. Francis.
If you're Fenwick, what do you want to do on defense here? Try to disguise the coverages, try to confuse Milivojevic a little bit?
I wonder how confusable he is. I still say you got to keep everything in front of you. Don't let anything go deep. He obviously has a rocket ship for an arm, so you also kind of can't play off people. But what you want to do is get a 2nd and 10 or 3rd and 10 and then tighten up the coverage and cause that incompletion. Then that's how you got the ball back last time.
Shotgun formation, staggered formation for the running backs. Handoff out to the right and snuffed out well by the Friars. Colin Murray was over there, as was number 3, Jack Paris.
And if you're Fenwick, obviously forcing them into passing situations at least turns St. Francis into a one-dimensional team. So that was a nice tackle, so it's 2nd and 10. I suspect St. Francis is probably going to put one of those sideline passes, maybe 5 yards, and hope for, to break it a little bit.
If you're St. Francis, knowing that Fenwick's offense is struggling, would 3 points still be good, knowing that Fenwick's having trouble moving that ball? Sack right there for Fenwick.
Yeah, I don't think they think in terms of 3 points. I think they think in terms of, okay, I want to get a first down here, then I want to get another first down here, I want to get another first down here, and all of a sudden you got 7. And then they'll take each individual 4-down set individually, and whether they want to kick on the 4th down or go for it on 4th down. Last time, obviously, they went for it on 4th down, and they went for the end zone, and This good pass rush from Fenwick. But this is what Fenwick wants, 3rd and long. Now, I would expect them to push coverage on the receivers, one-on-one perhaps. The 3 receivers are overloaded to the left. Now, I don't know the tendency yet to throw right or throw into the 3 receivers. We'll see.
3rd and 10, clean pocket for Milivojevic. They're going to send an extra pass rusher on the
pocket.
Run. And might have been partially deflected when he threw it. Either way, 4th and 10, ball at the 45. I think you got a punt here, partner. You're too far away for a field goal, obviously, and not a 4th and 10. It's going to take 10 yards for a first down. I think you punt, try to pin him inside the 20.
Clearly, yeah, they'll punt it and do exactly that. Try to get it out of bounds or punt it high enough so it's a fair catch. Punt it over there so it rolls, to the 5-yard line, something like that. But that pocket collapsed quickly and ran for his life to the right. No receivers to the right. There's just that one guy to the right, which might explain why they blitzed from their right.
Good snap. Kick is up. Decent hang time.
They'll get what they wanted out of this punt.
It'll take a Fenwick hop initially and then roll out of bounds. It's inside the 20, and now Fenwick has a long way to go to score the first touchdown of the game.
Fenwick has to feel actually kind of fortunate in this game. Most of the play has been on the left side and the Fenwick side, and St. Francis hasn't yet scored, and Fenwick has the ball. Now, yeah, it's true, they've got a long way to go to get their own score, but they have the ball, and there is no score, and they're playing a very good team. So Fenwick has to say, whatever has happened. Now we have to turn over a new leaf, try something a little bit different, including you got to get a first down, and that's what you start with. Just get a first down.
They won their first 2 games, 2 big rivalry games against OPRF and St. Ignatius. They lost last week against Providence Catholic. Clean pocket for Hill. It's a design quarterback run. Breaks through a tackle, gets a couple of yards. 2nd and long coming up for the Friars.
I like what they did, though. They put 5 receivers all wide, so you think pass, right? And then they were hoping for a quarterback draw up the middle and grab maybe 5, 6 or more yards. I like the call. Like I said, they have to do something different. The receivers had to back up there to get onside.
2nd and 8, the 17. They run Brown in motion. As they hand it off to Brown. Gets to the edge. Hit hard past the 20-yard line. Clock will continue to run. And he did not get the first.
Yeah,
Third
really
short
close. I guess it's further than I thought. 2 yards away from it, maybe 3 yards. That was that run-pass option. They hand off in front. They're not doing that in the NFL anymore by rule.
Only the Eagles like to run that RPO, and the Ravens from time to time with Lamar Jackson.
It's a very effective play, and I'm surprised they're outlawing it, but it's illegal now.
Well, if your quarterback gets hit, because that's the way, if you can't tackle Lamar Jackson, that's a throw over and completed to Fenwick. But what people have realized, if you can't tackle Lamar Jackson as he's handing it off, because you can tackle either guy, right? You can tackle Lamar or the running back. You pick one guy. If Lamar hands it off, you drill Lamar on the play. And after Lamar takes a couple of hits, he might second guess that handoff on the run pass option.
So you stop the play with a rule change instead of a tackle, right?
Yeah, not a lot of teams run the RPO for that exact reason, because you can hit the quarterback just after he's handed it off.
That was on that prior play. It was a great pitch and catch. They needed a couple of yards. It was a great catch, even though the defender had his arm in the middle of the reception and the receiver held on to it. Really nice job. Now we get 2nd and about 9 on that running play up the middle, and we see some running backs again.
2nd and 9, ball at the 28, 2 in the backfield, T formation. Clean pocket for Hill. He scans the field. Now here comes the pressure. Out to the sideline. Complete. And with room to run with it right now is Romeus. As Romeus is tackled right at the 40. Big time play for the Friars, partner. Let's see if that gives them some momentum going forward.
Oh, absolutely it will. And plus they discovered something that works. Hill went back, rolled to his right, took a lot of time, and that gave the receiver time to get away from his defender. And the other receivers were deep downfield, taking the safeties deep.
Handoff, read well by the St. Francis Spartans. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Right, and right up the middle and nowhere to go. So maybe Fenwick has to continue to stay in the air and let Hill buy some time. But that was a great play, and it gives you hope that they can do that several more times.
They've pretty much shut down D'Elise early on in this ball game. This time, it'll be a screen pass, and St. Francis was not fooled. Luckily, number 25 and Nino Samir hung on onto that ball.
Yeah, it looked to me like the receiver on the left side, is that number 20? Was
20 would be T.J. Smith, the tight
yeah,
end.
T.J. Smith looked like he was wide open if the ball wasn't a screen pass, if he just lobbed it over a defender. I don't know, they might look to run that play again if they can see that.
Right. When you watch it on replay, it was read well that time by St. Francis's Tanner Glock. And if he had tried to throw it over to the left, it might have been a pick six unless Hill just chucked that ball to the left because he was in between both Smith and the other wide receiver.
Well, I'm guessing he followed the read, and the read was throw it short like that. And then, of course, he got, like you said, it was well read and tackled behind the line. Of course, now at the end of the first quarter, and that first quarter seemed to fly. We're in the second quarter now with no score. So the ball is still going to stay on our left. The referees are talking at the 40-yard line there. I wonder what they're talking about. They're getting together. Oh, too many flags. Did he really hold?
I'm not getting any sound right there.
What do you mean? We're
There it is. Don't touch it. Jesus.
So here we go, starting the second quarter.
no score as Fenwick is past the 50 for the first time today. Fakes the handoff. Merrick Hill somehow got out of that pressure, and he gets positive yards out of nothing.
I was watching the JV game earlier tonight, and that's exactly what the Fenwick quarterback did. Very, very good escapability on that. I swear he was wrapped up. I'm thinking, man, those tacklers, they got to drive through the quarterback to make those tackles. He almost broke that onto the edge, and there was nobody there. He could have gone a long way.
Clean pocket for Hill. He scans the field. It's one-on-one coverage down the field, underthrown. Smith the intended target.
The defender got beat on that play, but had some wheels to catch up. If that throw was on target, that was all the way in the end zone.
The only good thing about an underthrown ball is if the cornerback isn't looking back for the ball and he hugs the wide receiver, it's defensive pass interference.
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't call anything there. The good thing is, even if they did, it's only the 15 yards from the line of scrimmage,
it's not a spot
right?
foul like the NFL.
Right, but there looked like there was contact on the play before the ball landed. I think the referee wisely said, "That's not catchable. Let's not call this."
And it looked like he made a last effort to come back to the ball and look back for it. In the NFL, would that be called? Probably not either. Well, but usually it's not underthrown at the NFL level either.
But what they did do is give up the ball on downs, and St. Francis has it.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't punt
I
there.
would have punted it. You're giving the ball away at the 40-yard line to a very potent offense. You punt that ball, it's back at the 10 or the 15, right. you push them back. Yeah. So that's not a good time to lose the field position battle in the 0-0 game.
Remember, though, nothing is guaranteed in high school punting. It could be a bad snap. It could get blocked. Sometimes you shank the punt. It only goes 3 yards on the punt. So in high school football, it's a lot different coaching high school varsity football versus the Illinois Fighting Illini when you trust your punting game.
Well, and here a very good defensive stop from Fenwick, pushing the ball back a couple of yards. So now it's 2nd and 12, and a very potent offense is continuing to not get first down yardage. So there's constant 2nd and 10, 3rd and 10 kind of situations. We have a timeout?
Yep, timeout called by St. Francis. We'll take a timeout as well. You're watching SBS, the broadcasting network for everyone.
Timeout by St. Francis.
Mute.
Sure, my family loves me.
No.
Sweet new collar. My dog bowl is always full of Fido's finest. Heck, they even take care of the personal stuff on my walk. Come on, who does that? But what really sealed the deal for me was when they installed a security system from Forest Security. Hey, I'm no watchdog, you know? Forest Security offers the latest in technology and security for our home. Yeah, I'm pretty good at keeping an eye on things, but I also have stuff to do, like sleep and socialize. A smart security system can provide around-the-clock awareness and generate instant smartphone alerts. They let the family know if something is wrong or suspicious. They do all of the work for us, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You know what they say, you can't trust a dog to watch your house or your sandwich. Call Forest Security today.
Call us today at 708-452-2000 or visit forestsecurity.com.
Shotgun formation, 2nd and 11 for Milivojevic and the St. Francis offense. Pitch play over to the left to Ransom. Ransom gets a couple of yards and then a good open field tackle by the Friars. 3rd and long coming up for St. Francis.
I like the play call, though. Run to the left, run to the long side, trying to do a sweep, and maybe if they get around edge, get more yardage. But again, the stingy Fenwick defense came up with a good stop. Sure, they gave up 2 or 3 yards, but now it's 3rd and long. Passing situation for St. Francis, one would think. But again, I like that slant play. You know, throw the ball while somebody is in motion. Either that or air it out. Get the defense to be pushed back.
3rd and 8, ball at the 42, 1 in the backfield. 2 to the right, 1 to the left. They got 1 in the slot.
Here's the aired out
the
pass.
Field, double coverage and incomplete. Maybe not the best decision by Milivojevic, but he got lucky and it wasn't picked off.
Well, I like it, though. They went downfield. I think airing it out, pushing Fenwick's defense back is a good thing. And then maybe somebody else was open. They didn't look like they had a whole lot of receivers out there, just the 2, one deep and one shorter. Right. But neither one was open. But he threw a frozen rope. I think if you're going to throw it downfield, I want it to have a lot of air under it where the receiver can adjust and go get it. That just really wasn't catchable. But he was double covered. You don't want it to be caught.
You don't want to throw in a double coverage, but if you're going to do that, throw it out of bounds so nobody can get it. Punt formation, one would think. I wouldn't be shocked, though, if they did a fake punt here.
I would. I think this will get punted.
Mishandled the snap. He shanked it. As Fenwick yells out poison, goes out of bounds, and that's why teams go for it. Once they get past midfield, it's plays like that why teams go for it.
Yeah, Connor Fitzgerald was back on coverage there, and it almost looked like he should have caught that short punt, and he had nothing but green in front of him. But no, like you said, somebody says poison, he's got out of the way.
Because you got to do the old Willie Mays catch behind the back to catch it, then run forward.
Oh, it looked to me like he was behind it and could have caught it, but he just ran forward to get out of the way. But, you know, he's trained to don't catch it, because can you imagine if he catches it, goes off his shoulder pads, and the other team gets it? That wouldn't be good either. But, boy, he's a receiver. He's got the hands.
We don't need another Velas Jones.
Velas Jones? Is that the Bears player, right?
Velas. Clean pocket for Hill. Down the middle. Great pass. It was off the fingertips, so that's on the wide receiver, partner.
Well, yeah, I was just thinking that. There's a high school receiver that didn't make that catch, right? But if that's a pro receiver, man, that ball's caught. It was a perfect throw. It was like NFL open. The defender was there, but not there.
Off the fingertips.
Oh, it was very catchable. I'm a little surprised he didn't even in high school get it.
I mean, Avion Brown, he had that big screen pass touchdown against St. Ignatius, and he had 2 wide receiving touchdowns against the Wolfpack.
So now 2nd and 10, which is what St. Francis wants. I actually expected that to be a handoff to shorten it.
Wide open that time is Brown. Maybe a lack of communication and coverage by the St. Francis defense. Whatever, it's a first down for the Friars.
That's White, isn't it? Rowan White. I liked it because they went to him on the prior play and he went downfield. This one he was wide open on the shorter pass. I'm sorry, Avion Brown. My bad.
Wide open is Smith. Caught. 1st and 10 for the Friars as long as he was in bounds. They're not moving the chains yet, though, Bob. They're going to say he was out of bounds. We're going to watch it on replay right now.
That play, to me, looked like he was in bounds. Unless he bobbled the ball, but that absolutely was in bounds.
He was in bounds. Bad call.
That's what I thought.
Terrible call.
We're hundreds of feet away, though.
It's always easier to play armchair official than regular official.
Oh, somebody's throwing a red flag. It has to be a challenge flag.
No challenges.
That's a tough call to negate a 30-yard gain like that.
It's surprising, too, that they said he was out of bounds, because remember in high school, college, you only need 1 foot.
Yeah, it looks too obvious.
You're absolutely sure that his foot was on the white, you got to say in bounds. Unless you can go to your grave knowing that he was out of bounds, give him the benefit of the doubt.
Well, the good thing about this being on YouTube, you can play it back as many times in any speed you want.
Another flag might be a hold against the Friars.
Might be tempted to decline it. Leave 3rd and 15 out there rather than 2nd and 25.
You're a coach. You know, I haven't coached in football, but I've always wondered why some coaches don't accept penalties. Here's an example. It's 3rd and 15, and the other team only gets 10 yards, so it becomes 4th and 5, but there's a holding. I would sometimes think to accept it to make it 3rd and 25.
I sometimes think that too, but I think what happens on those plays is you do run. I don't want to overuse the word slant here, but you get defensive holding 5 yards first down, so you don't want to give them the extra play.
Right, and sometimes they'll get like that draw play and get the yardage back anyways.
Yeah, and here it looks like they did decline at third down.
3rd and 14, clean pocket for Hill. He's going to move over to the right. On the run, good pass, but good defense. Cover 2 look by St. Francis, and it's a 4th and medium coming out for the Friars.
Well, and I want to punt, but they're keeping the quarterback on the field as if they're going to go for this. So they did it last time at the 40-yard line, went deep downfield. Here now they only need 5 yards, but I definitely question this call, but it's aggressive.
You could do a hard count if you want. You've got all 3 timeouts. They're going to play on. Pressure comes from St. Francis.
He's got the first down.
Hill gets outside the pocket, and more. He's still on his feet.
Unfortunately, the containment just wasn't there, and he got around on the outside way more than 5 yards. Obviously beat the results of what a punt would have been. So let's just say the Fenwick coaches know what they're doing. They made twice. One didn't work, one did work, but now they're knocking at the doorstep here, whereas if they had punted both, they wouldn't have the ball either time.
Yeah, you'd like to have a middle linebacker on that old quarterback spy play. Get low on that open field tackle. Didn't happen there for the Spartans.
Yeah, the coaches are going to watch that on video later and say, where was the containment? We cannot let him get outside our pass rush.
1st and 10 at the 20, Hill. This time it'll be a screen pass. Read well by the Spartans. And he might have lost a yard. We'll see where they spot it. At the high school level, they always give the offensive player the benefit of the doubt.
Well, especially at the first down marker. They don't like to come out and measure. You know, you're short by 2 or 3 inches, they give you the first down. But that ball was behind the line of scrimmage, and it's just good tackling, gang tackling, actually, in that case by St. Francis. That play went nowhere. 2nd and 10.
What do you want to do if you're Fenwick? You're 21 yards away from the end zone. It's a 0-0 game, though. You put 3 on the scoreboard. That would give you some kind of momentum going into halftime.
Yeah, I don't think coaches are thinking in terms of field goals. They wouldn't be making on 4th down at midfield otherwise. They're going for touchdowns.
Field goals as T.J. Smith just flat out dropped that one.
It was right in his hands.
Butterfingers.
Uh-oh. Yeah, you can't expect a much better pass.
Isn't that something? That Thursday night game that Patrick Mahomes threw it right to Kadarius Toney right in the breadbasket. He dropped it, became a pick 6 the other way. So on the box score, it goes as a pick 6, right. But it was a perfectly thrown pass. 3rd and 11 at the 21. You'd like to get at least 5 yards to consider the field goal.
Wonder how many of those happened to Peterman.
Hill scrambles on the run. I don't know about that decision by Hillpert. It looked like he had the opportunity for 3+ yards with the quarterback sneak.
I think at least he's a load to tackle, and he had a head of steam running to the right. Didn't look like he was challenged. I think I would have kept it and continued. Right. Instead, he kind of threw it into the rubber pellets.
And I bring that up because you'd like to give your field goal kicker more yardage closer to the field goal post.
Well, and this is going to answer, do they kick field goals or not? This is from the 20-yard line, so it'll be a 37-yard kick, and they're not kicking.
They're going to place at the 21.
Yeah, they're not kicking.
4th and 11, clean pocket for Hill. He's got a receiver, back shoulder play, touchdown Friars, touchdown Nate Marshall, the Division I recruit.
That's exactly what you were saying. If you underthrow the ball and the defender doesn't see it first, it's an easy catch for the receiver, and that's exactly what happened. So they are going to kick the extra point to go for 7 here, but what a great pitch and catch that was. The defender wasn't watching. The receiver saw the ball first, made an easy comeback catch.
Nice throw by Merrick Hill.
Well, he's a good quarterback.
They're going to go for 2, at least for now.
I thought they put the tee down to kick it. Looks like they are going. Nope, there's the kick.
Flag on the play. Might be a false start against Fenwick.
Illegal procedure. Well, now they got a longer kick to get that point. But we finally got a score with, 7 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Yeah, you got to give credit to this Fenwick defense. Milivojevic was getting the ball down the field, but Fenwick made plays when they needed to make plays.
Well, and that's what we said at the beginning of the broadcast, right? Fenwick, they've given up, 21 points to Providence Catholic, right? But only 13 to St. Ignatius, and they've got a potent offense. And only 13 to OPRF, their arch-enemy rival. So they do have a stingy defense. So 7-0 lead looks big.
Beautiful kick by Avalos. It's 7-0 Fenwick as we go to break here on SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone. You'd first.
Before we celebrated this special night, before we fell in love with our home all over again, We searched for a company to handle our entire remodel, from architecture and material selection to permits and complete construction with impeccable design. We found Air Room.
Visit the Air Room Design Build Center in Lincolnwood to explore your home's potential. Air Room, architects, builders, remodelers. Your project begins at airroom.com.
Sure, my family loves me. They bought me this sweet new collar. My dog bowl is always full of Fido's finest. Heck, they even take care of the personal stuff on my walk. Come on, who does that?
Yep. 7-0 Fenwick. What an impressive drive by Merrick Hill. Looked like TJ Smith was inbounds on the fly route down the sideline, but they didn't let it phase them, and they still scored anyway.
Boy, you hit that on the head. It didn't let them phase it, and they still scored anyway. That's the epitome of you can't do what happened. You can't change what happened. You can only fix what's going forward. That was a real nice drive, and it also gives Fenwick a lot of confidence. Remember that one play where they threw the ball, the quarterback ran Hill and then threw a 20-yard or 30-yard pass? That the game changed at that point.
So a lack of communication, stole away from his teammate on the kick return.
He wants to pad his stats, right?
Fantasy football at the IHSA Varsity level.
Oh, no.
Barstool Sportsbook.
Right.
It's getting so crazy, partner. I was driving down 290 today.
How fast were you going? You had a lot of time to read that billboard, I'm guessing.
On the CTA, it said PointsBet Sportsbook. Come on, we got to do advertisements for PointsBet Sportsbook on the CTA. Give me a break.
I'm still back on how fast were you going on 290. You had all day to read that.
Right, 10 miles an hour in bumper-to-bumper traffic. Ball at the 31. They got plenty of time, Bob. 7:43. Cannot afford a turnover here.
Well, obviously that's true, right? It is a one-score game, and they just need to get one drive right in. And they have a potent offense, so let's see what they do. Fenwick has proven to be a stingy defense.
Clean pocket for Milivojevic. Steps into it. Good throw. Complete. 1st and 10 and more for the Spartans as he's driven out of bounds at the 45.
Really nice catch by Dario, his brother, right? They've probably been doing that since kindergarten.
What do you got to do if you're Fenwick on defense? That was way too easy for the Milivojevic brothers.
I was just thinking of that, and I was going to blurt out before he asked me, double cover that kid. That's his younger brother. And, he's not as tall, right? He's only 5'9", 4 or 5 inches shorter maybe. And he's going to grow. He's young.
Off to the left, Marshall with great recovery speed. Marshall playing on both sides of the ball. He's being recruited as a defensive end. He looks pretty darn good at wide receiver, too.
Not really that big for defensive end, so we'll see how that goes in this next level, right? But a little speed to the left onto the wide part of the field. I think if I'm St. Francis, I do the same kind of a play to the right side of the field where there's more space. Either that or throw again to his brother. I see 2 defenders on his brother's side, and there's a lot of room over there, so he'll probably end up double covered.
So right now they've got Marshall at nose guard, 3-4 defense. Out to the left, good block by St. Francis. 1st and 10 and more for the Spartans.
Yeah, if that ball was thrown a little bit lower, it was off to the races for a pick 6, but instead threw it correctly over the defender and a nice 1st down gain. Looks like it's coming back.
2nd and 7, ball at the 47. 7:26 remaining in the first half. Hopefully you're enjoying the game as much as we are. Text line's open. 708 texter says he loved playing with Chris Bell. Back a few years ago, kid was amazing, and he went D1.
They pushed that back 10 yards from the line of scrimmage. Yeah. 2nd down.
No one likes a cheater, Bob, unless you're Bill Belichick. 3rd and 17.
I think you can come up with a better example than that for cheating.
Handoff. Didn't get much. We might have, it was 2nd and 17, not 3rd and 17.
Right, because they had to play that down again. So now it's 3rd and, well, still a long way. 3rd and a lot of real estate.
Got to be careful here, partner. I know you want to throw into a tight window, but you don't want to give the ball back to Fenwick unless it's inside their own 20-yard line.
Well, again, like before, I want to throw it to somebody on the run. So it looks like they're loading the right side with 3 receivers. Let's see if they send the back out for a screen out to the left. Or if they keep them in for coverage, they might need time to get downfield.
Trips to the right. Screen pass. That did not fool the Friars at all.
Yeah, that's not what the doctor ordered. That's probably what the read showed, right? But I think I would like to see something deeper. You know, I don't want to tell the coach what to do, of course, but I'm thinking that put your brother on the left side as the single receiver and put the 3 other receivers on the right side. It's real hard to defend that one-on-one on the left side on those.
Remember, nothing guaranteed in the punting game. Would not be shocked if it went over the punter's head.
But Fenwick likes this, though. They're going to get the ball back, they expect, up by a score. Great punt.
Line drive kick. And yelling out poison is the Friars, as St. Francis will have to pick it up near the 25-yard line.
Well, that was a good kick, so backed up. Fenwick, they got, 70-some-odd yards to go to get a second score. St. Francis, like I said, gave up some points. So if Fenwick gets another touchdown with this 5 minutes to go in this half, they'll be halfway to the 28 points they need. Or at least halfway to the 28 points that St. Francis is typically giving up.
I'm impressed by this Fenwick defense. That was one of the things that had an asterisk next to it. When they play these good teams, can they make enough plays to get victories? And they've done it most of the year, but they were a little shaky last week against Providence Catholic, but they have adjusted well tonight.
Well, you've said it. It's exactly right. The shaky defense, but it's obviously coming through here against a very good offensive team with a good quarterback.
T formation. Handoff to D'Elise. Just trying his best to get back to the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, see, St. Francis is equally stingy on defense. So second and long. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's a pick-em game. I mean, you can pick who till the cows come home on who you think is going to win this game. You got to just play it and see what happens.
If they played each other 100 times, Fenwick might win 50 and St. Francis might win 50.
That's what it looks like.
2nd and 10 for the Friars. Hill, screen pass. It's delivered that time to Bajorson, as Bajorson with very good speed stays in bounds. Clock continues to run.
A lot of screen passes tonight. That one that went to the left side and gained a first down, well over 10 yards on that play. These screen passes are very effective. You get them out in space, and it's hard to tackle some of these runners.
He did not get the first. 2nd and 1. Screen pass again to Bajorson. Bajorson lowers his shoulder and gets the first.
Well, I think he had a first. Now we're talking 2nd and about 7.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
They had 2nd and 1 on theirs.
That dang scoreboard. We're going to blame the scoreboard operator on that one.
Here we go. 2nd and 6. At least that's what they say. Merrick Hill over to the right. He scans the field. He'll run with it. That's a dangerous play, partner. When you stop and start like that, you can get drilled from behind like that.
I liked what he did, though. The pocket was collapsing on him, behind him, to his left, so he ran to the right where there's a lot more space to run, and he has some speed. It was a good tackle and another flag.
Just if I'm Matt Battaglia, I want my star quarterback. Get out of bounds. Don't stop. The defensive end is coming from behind. He's going to drill you.
Well, and that's I don't want to go out and rant on the Bears, but Justin Fields is your franchise quarterback, and yeah, you want him to run, but don't call running plays for him.
Let him. If he's going to run, get out of bounds.
Stuff like that.
3rd and 2.
Jalen Hurts did that a lot too. They called running plays for him. He's a franchise there, and it worked.
Sacked on the play. I'm surprised by that play call. Look, I get it in the spread offense. You just don't have a lot of plays for under center, but when it's 3rd and 2, that's when you really want to go I formation, right?
Well, it wasn't 3rd and 2. It looked like 3rd and long.
3rd and 2 over there.
Yeah, I think it's probably more like 3rd and 5. I don't know. So I would have
3rd and 2, so I say a 3-yard sack.
Yeah, I would have run wide, but here they are going on 4th down on their own side. Oh, and procedure.
Yeah,
now,
false start. Now you got to punt.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think they needed to punt prior. It could be. Obviously, it wasn't a hard count.
You got all 3 timeouts. You could run the hard count.
Well, they did, even if they did, obviously that's not what they did, because they were illegal procedure.
They did the hard count, and the offensive lineman didn't know the hard count.
Right. So anyway, they're doing the right thing here, punting. But this is fun to watch this punter, because he tosses the ball up into the air and then punts it. Gives the defense some time to block it. Plus, the ball isn't always exactly where you think it is.
It's fun for you. Maybe not so fun for the special teams coaches for Fenwick.
Right. Well, he's a good punter. It goes downfield. Another whistle.
Look, it doesn't matter how you do it, as long as it's effective. Andy Lee, the former punter for the Browns and the 49ers, he did the rugby-style punt.
Right.
Takes a long time for that punt to get off. He could get blocked, but Andy Lee, he was really effective with that rugby-style punt.
So this timeout was called by Fenwick. So
Are you
each team
looking
has
for
used
some
one
good
timeout.
food after a
3.5
Fenwick football
minutes to
game?
go.
Then head on
St.
over to
Francis is gonna get the
O'Sullivan's
ball with
Public
a
House,
long way to go
located
for-
on Madison Street in Porus Park. O'Sullivan's Public House has daily drink specials alongside a year-round beer garden. Open daily from 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. O'Sullivan's PH offers dinner until 10 p.m. Even cooler, O'Sullivan's offers a late-night menu until 11:30 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. On the weeknights, O'Sullivan's has a late-night menu until 11 p.m. And for the fall season, O'Sullivan's will offer 20% off food for athletes and coaches following home Fenwick games. For more information, go online to o'sullivansfp.com.
.323 remaining in the first half. Kyle Smith alongside Bob Vilsway. Hopefully you're having as much fun as we are, Bob. 7-0 game. A little bit surprised, but Fenwick's defense has made some excellent plays tonight.
They have, and what an atmosphere. The band is in the stands right just to our right. A lot of them, a lot of members. Not like a German band with 4 or 5 members. That punt's so close to getting blocked.
Takes a very friendly St. Francis hop, and no choice but for Rowan White to pick that one up. And so that's why teams go for it, is sometimes the punt is just as bad as going for it.
Well, and they got 60 yards to go in 3.5 minutes, and if they can do it, they can tie this game up in the first half. But what an atmosphere. They got the cheerleaders over there, tons of fans, high school students. The far stands, well, I wouldn't say are filled, but definitely have a bunch of people too. Gorgeous night. Don't even need my sweatshirt, and that's unusual for me. Not a cloud in the sky, no moon. Just perfect night.
708 texter says Mike was on fire, freshman year of high school, couldn't cool home on the field. Out to the sideline, and another flag. We've seen more yellow laundry tonight than points scored.
Yeah, no kidding. I wonder if that was a face mask. I couldn't tell from here, but it just looked like in that face mask territory.
No one likes a cheater.
Yeah, I wonder what this penalty actually is.
Holding. You gotta get your hearing checked.
Ineligible man downfield.
Well, they originally said holding, and then they changed their mind.
That was the PA announcer. You don't trust him. Got to watch the signals from the guys on the field. Then you know what they called.
The PA guy blew it.
He did.
He had one job, and now he's fired.
Yeah, he led you astray.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Right. So 3 receivers on the right this time again. And second and long? First and long.
First and 15, yeah. First and a country mile. Clean pocket for Milivojevic. Here comes the pressure now.
Yeah, clean pocket.
It was clean until it wasn't.
Okay. So it was a clean pocket, and then he caught the snap. Great pass rush. So it's second in a country mile. And right now, St. Francis hasn't proven that they can pick up a country mile. So Fenwick's got to feel pretty good. First on stopping them. Second, thinking about calling a timeout to get the ball back themselves.
Yeah, see if St. Francis plays the chess game here, tries to run clock. Once it gets to 2 minutes, if I'm head coach Matt Battaglia, I would call my second timeout.
Yeah, if I'm St. Francis, I'm thinking about calling the timeout, absolutely.
You would call timeout if you're St. Francis?
Fenwick. Did I say, yeah, Fenwick. If you're Fenwick, call timeout, yeah.
T formation. Scanning the field is Milivojevic. Great play.
Yeah, there's the flag. I thought he got tackled before the ball got there. That's tough, though. You're diving after the ball. The defender's diving after the player. But you know what? You can't land on the player before he gets his hands on it. And that's why we were talking earlier, on 3rd and 92, you'd rather have them have a 4th down in one play to get out of it rather than, you get that 5-yard pass and, it's a first down.
That's the issue with when you accept penalties. You give them one more try, and a defensive penalty is an automatic first down depending on what the penalty is.
Well, it looks like they're calling it second down, though. I don't understand that. It's not a first down.
There's been some mistakes on that scoreboard.
Well, I'm looking at the down marker. Second down at the 42-yard line.
It should be defensive pass interference would be an automatic first down.
That's what I'm thinking. I don't understand some rule here.
And you can hear the St. Francis fans. They are not happy. Here comes the sack by Fenwick. big-time sack by the Friars, as credited for it is the wide receiver, defensive end, Brady Lavin.
That's why you put a receiver on the end, because he's faster than the offensive line. Got around the corner, tackled the quarterback from behind. Third and half of a country mile. Like we said earlier, Fenwick has proven that St. Francis isn't going to be able to pick up a country mile for a first down. So third and what, 15? Scoreboard operator still counting the yards.
First and 15, I don't know.
Third and 15.
Third and 15. Milovich, you got to get rid of that ball. Now he gets out of the pocket. And he was lucky to not get sacked there, partner. He was in the pocket way too long.
Yeah, he was. He made a good effort to get that first down, though. He's out of bounds. Should be fourth down. So fourth down, maybe about 5 at midfield. Again, with not a whole lot of time here, I think you just punt it away. Don't go for it.
Right, yeah, that's what stinks about that defensive pass interference, is it wasted more time for Fenwick to get the ball back, or whatever the call was.
They are going for it, though.
Well, they've got 2 timeouts if you want to do a hard count. Because remember, if you draw them offside, you don't get the automatic first because it's fourth and more than 5, but then you get closer to the first down marker, then you can go for it.
Yeah, I don't think that's their goal. I think they're going for it to go for it, and then they're hoping if they don't make it, Fenwick can't score from midfield. But this is a risk. Down by 1 score midfield, I would be punting.
I definitely, yeah, okay. Now they're going to talk about it. See, that was weird. I would have rather try to do as much of a hard count as possible, try to draw them offside, then call the timeout. Nothing really happened there. A couple of guys went in motion, and then Bob McMillan called the timeout. A little bit interesting what Bob McMillan did there.
Well, that's what did happen, but I think what really happened is they were actually confused. They were simply going to go for it, and then maybe an assistant coach talked to the head coach, and somebody decided, no, this is not a good time to go.
Sure, my family loves me. They bought me this sweet new collar. My dog bowl is always full of Fido's finest. Heck, they even take care of the personal stuff on my walk. Come on, who does that? But what really sealed the deal for me was when they installed a security system from Forest Security. Hey, I'm no watchdog, you know? Forest Security offers the latest in technology and security for our home. Yeah.
At midfield. And even if you make the first down, you're still only at midfield. You might not score. It just isn't worth the risk.
I was just surprised. You're probably right, though, Bob. They were probably just confused, but normally you'd probably want to do a hard count there and try to draw them offside. Meanwhile, the punt takes a very friendly St. Francis hop inside the 20. Great job not touching that ball until it officially died.
Well, and then don't touch it then either. The referee would have blown it dead 2 more seconds from then.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he picked up the ball, gets a stat, covered the punt, and Fenwick now with the ball and well over 80 yards to go to get a second score. Right. I think if you're Fenwick, you just eat the clock and forget it.
Well, remember, clock stops on a first. You've got 2 timeouts. You don't want to call the timeouts until you get inside the opponent's 30. So when you get the first down, you got to spike. And you spike it a couple times until you get past midfield, then you can consider calling timeouts.
Yeah, my crystal ball says it's only 1 touchdown in the whole entire first half. You're not going to get a second one here with less than a minute to go. Don't give a turnover away.
They're going to pass.
And they didn't.
Breaks through a tackle.
Yeah, I like the play call. Make it look like they're passing, run up the middle, see how far your quarterback can go. Maybe do that again, but don't air it out. But you got to be careful. You don't want to get sacked in a fumble either. So quarterback draw is a good call here.
Hurry up offense. They're going to run another play. Hill, the pressure comes. He's going to run it again, trying to get out of bounds. Great job by Hill getting out of bounds.
Yeah, I don't like how Hill is holding the ball. The only way they can turn it over if they're not throwing it is a fumble, and he's carrying the ball loosely in the right hand. If somebody gets from behind him and doesn't realize it, that's trouble.
So 23 seconds, partner. If you get a first down, you probably call a timeout, and then you have a chance for a Hail Mary.
Yeah, I just don't think that's, well, they are going to throw it. Nope.
Rolls over to the right, does Hill, looks down the field. He's got an open man. Great pass by Hill inside the 30, inside the 25 to the 21. You were saying, Bob?
What a great throw is what I will say. I would not have expected them to do that, and I think they lulled them to sleep with those quarterback draws. Now, are they close enough for a field goal with what, 16? I can't tell. Is that 16 or 6? Yeah, 16 seconds to go. Are they close enough for a field goal? Probably not. They call time. Wise choice.
So timeout on the field. We'll take a timeout as well. You're watching SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Are you looking for some good food after a Fenwick football game? Then head on over to O'Sullivan's Public House. Located on Madison Street in Forest Park, O'Sullivan's Public House has daily drink specials alongside a year-round beer garden. Open daily from 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. O'Sullivan's PH offers dinner until 10 p.m. Even cooler, O'Sullivan's offers a late-night menu until 11:30 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. On the weeknights, O'Sullivan's has a late-night menu until 11 p.m. And for the fall season, O'Sullivan's will offer 20% off food for athletes and coaches following home Fenwick games. For more information, go online to o'sullivansfp.com.
First and 10 at the 21. I wanted them to pass. You wanted to be conservative. Guess like I'm the better head coach on that armchair quarterback.
Well, we'll see if that turns out to be a score or not. But that was a rocket ship of a throw.
Rocket for an arm.
Yeah, rocket for an arm. Here, they still got to turn it into points with just, 11 seconds to go? And by the scoreboard doesn't show the timeouts, but I have 3 timeouts on Fenwick and 1 timeout on St. Francis. So Fenwick cannot stop the clock. So they have to go for the end zone, not get sacked. They've got no timeouts left.
So 2 for Fenwick, 1 for St. Francis.
I counted 3 for Fenwick. You could be right. It's 2 and 1, but I counted 3.
So 1 for Fenwick, 1 for St. Francis.
Well, we'll see. The scoreboard doesn't show it. Ours does.
So you could do a quick pass, call a timeout.
If you have
a quick pass to the end zone. If that doesn't work, then kick the field goal. But it's got to be really quick on the pass.
And they gave them 12 seconds to do it. They kicked up a second on the clock.
Clean pocket for Hill, right down the middle.
Oh no, right in his hands.
Fingertips of Brown.
You cannot throw that ball any better.
Oh boy, that's one that Avion Brown's going to remember tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
But the good news is it was a quick passing play, so now you can run 2 more plays if you want. Because you do have a timeout.
Well, you got 6 seconds. I think they're going to go ahead and try to kick it.
9.
Well, they had 12. Remember, they moved it back to 12 seconds. But I like this choice. Try and make a field goal from, 36 yards out. Not an easy kick, but the only way you're going to get points here.
Avalos to kick. Good snap, good hold. And it's blocked. And there's 2 seconds left on the clock. And now no seconds.
So that aggressive ending to the first half resulted in no points, as it turns out. So 7-0 at halftime.
Pretty impressive by this Fenwick defense, but can they hang on for dear life? Because I don't think their offense is going to score more points than 14 tonight.
Well, you know me well enough to know that the prediction for the game now has changed. Clearly, it's at halftime. It's 7-0. It's going to be a 14-0 finish. So the shutout's in the bag. But Fenwick has been doing an outstanding job, holding St. Francis to no points.
We'll take a break for about 5 minutes, then we'll give you some halftime analysis. You're watching SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Before we celebrated this special night, before we fell in love with our home all over again, we searched for a company to handle our entire remodel, from architecture and material selection to permits and complete construction with impeccable design. We found Airroom.
Visit the Airroom Design Build Center in Lincolnwood to explore your home's potential. Airroom, architects, builders, remodelers. Your project begins at airroom.com.
Sure, my family loves me. They bought me this sweet new collar. My dog bowl is always full of Fido's finest. Heck, they even take care of the personal stuff on my walk. Come on, who does that? But what really sealed the deal for me was when they installed a security system from Forest Security. Hey, I'm no watchdog, you know? Forest Security offers the latest in technology and security for our home. Yeah, I'm pretty good at keeping an eye on things, but I also have stuff to do, like sleep and socialize. A smart security system can provide around-the-clock awareness and generate instant smartphone alerts. They let the family know if something is wrong or suspicious. They do all of the work for us, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You know what they say, you can't trust a dog to watch your house or your sandwich. Call Forest Security today.
Call us today at 708-452-2000 or visit forestsecurity.com.
Are you looking for some good food after a Fenwick football game? Then head on over to O'Sullivan's Public House. Located on Madison Street in Forest Park, O'Sullivan's Public House has daily drink specials alongside a year-round beer garden. Open daily from 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. O'Sullivan's PH offers dinner until 10 p.m. Even cooler, O'Sullivan's offers a late-night menu until 11:30 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. On the weeknights, O'Sullivan's has a late-night menu until 11 p.m. And for the fall season, O'Sullivan's will offer 20% off food for athletes and coaches following home Fenwick games. For more information, go online to o'sullivansfp.com.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. SBS offers live telecasts on Channel 59.3, YouTube, or Twitch. We include pre- and post-game interviews with the players.
You know, it started in the locker room. All the boys were getting going before the game and stuff, and we kind of found a little click at the beginning of the game, so I think that's what got us going.
We also include digital live statistics, play-by-play commentary, team highlight reels, and even more than that. Go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com or search Sports Broadcast Solutions on YouTube. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. At SBS, we offer a professional broadcasting experience for the non-professional athlete. Just like the pros, we offer everything for you. Play-by-play commentary.
A no-hitter at Kane County Stadium. 15 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 error, and that's it.
Color commentary, highlight reels, recruiting videos, and much, much more. Unlike our competitors, we zoom in on the action and always have a live scoreboard with a live time code. If you're ready to have your next sporting event feel like CBS Sports, then make sure to call Sports Broadcast Solutions today. Our phone number is 330-957-7653, or you can go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Missing your child's sporting event just plain stinks. But you don't have to worry about that anymore, thanks to Sports Broadcast Solutions. SBS is a live broadcasting network, as well as covering your on-demand needs, recruiting videos, highlight reels, and much, much more. We can broadcast live to any website, and we also post as much on-demand content as you need. For more information about SBS, check out our website at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Let SBS broadcast your sporting event. We have experience and can generate excitement and permanent digital memories for your team.
Tonight. That time, finally a goal for the Stampede.
We have professional videographers using high-definition modern-day cameras, color analysts, and play-by-play announcers with state-of-the-art, classy graphical scoreboards to keep you updated. Plus, we have commercials to advertise your team, club, or sponsor, and us. Plus, we do pregame and postgame interviews.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the post-game show brought to you by Marion Central Catholic. My name's Kyle Smith, but my name doesn't matter. These young ladies matter. It's senior night as the Hurricanes win a battle down the stretch, 48-46.
Hi, I'm Carrie Kramer. I swim 50 breast, 50 free, and 100 back.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Instead of spending hundreds or thousands with all these college recruiting sites, let us put together your college highlight reel. For just a fraction of your potential college scholarship and significantly less than these recruiting services, we got this. In addition, we put together highlight reels for teams, including high school, your club team, or travel team.
My teammate gave me a great pass, and I just took it. The other team slashed me, took the opportunity, saw where the goalie was weak, and I just shot it there.
Solon, O'Connor, and Marsh back on defense. And Marsh gets a blowout. We got a breakaway at 2-0. A shot and a goal! So 3-3. The power play was officially over.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those
Before we celebrated this special night, before we fell in love with our home all over again, we searched for a company to handle our entire remodel, from architecture and material selection to permits and complete construction with impeccable design. we found Air Room.
Visit the Air Room Design Build Center in Lincolnwood to explore your home's potential. Air Room, architects, builders, remodelers. Your project begins at airroom.com.
Sure, my family loves me. They bought me this sweet new collar. My dog bowl is always full of Fido's finest. Heck, they even take care of the personal stuff on my walk. Come on, who does that? But what really sealed the deal for me was when they installed a security system from Forest Security. Hey, I'm no watchdog, you know? Forest Security offers the latest in technology and security for our home. Yeah, I'm pretty good at keeping an eye on things, but I also have stuff to do, like sleep and socialize. A smart security system can provide around-the-clock awareness and generate instant smartphone alerts. They let the family know if something is wrong or suspicious. They do all of the work for us, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You know what they say, you can't trust a dog to watch your house or your sandwich. Call Forest Security today.
Call us today at 708-452-2000 or visit forestsecurity.com.
Are you looking for some good food after a Fenwick football game? Then head on over to O'Sullivan's Public House. Located on Madison Street in Forest Park, O'Sullivan's Public House has daily drink specials alongside a year-round beer garden. Open daily from 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. O'Sullivan's PH offers dinner until 10 p.m. Even cooler, O'Sullivan's offers a late-night menu until 11:30 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. On the weeknights, O'Sullivan's has a late-night menu until 11 p.m. And for the fall season, O'Sullivan's will offer 20% off food for athletes and coaches following home Fenwick games. For more information, go online to o'sullivansfp.com.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. SBS offers live telecasts on Channel 59.3, YouTube, or Twitch. We include pre- and post-game interviews with the players.
You know, I started in the locker room. All the boys were getting going before the game and stuff, and we kind of found a little click at the beginning of the game, so I think that's what got us going.
We also include digital live statistics, play-by-play commentary, team highlight reels, and even more than that. Go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com or search Sports Broadcast Solutions on YouTube. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. At SBS, we offer a professional broadcasting experience for the non-professional athlete. Just like the pros, we offer everything for you. Play-by-play commentary.
A no-hitter at Kane County Stadium. 15 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 error, and that's it.
Color commentary, highlight reels, recruiting videos, and much, much more. Unlike our competitors, we zoom in on the action and always have a live scoreboard with a live time code. If you're ready to have your next sporting event feel like CBS Sports, then make sure to call Sports Broadcast Solutions today. Our phone number is 330-957-7653, or you can go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Four minutes and 27 until the second half begins. I'm Kyle Smith alongside Bob Vilsaway. It's a 7-0 lead for the Fenwick Friars. If you're just joining us, the difference in the game, a 4th and 11 conversion to Nate Marshall, whose primary position is defensive lineman, D-tackle, but the D-tackle / wide receiver is the difference maker in this ball game.
Well, I mean, that's true with that one play, except I'm thinking that the difference maker is Fenwick's strategy. So on 4th down, anywhere near midfield and all the way to their end zone that they're trying to score in, they're making on 4th down. So they're being as aggressive as can be. Remember in the past, we've talked about these teams being, video football. They just 4th down punt. No, we're not doing that. Yep. And so they finally made it on a 4th and 11 play, and it was a downfield bomb, 30 or 40 feet, but yards, and it was certainly not a lot of air under the ball. It was a frozen rope downfield. Gained the yards at the end there, and they couldn't kick the field goal. But a 1-touchdown game is all it is in the whole first half, just one score. So right now, St. Francis when they get the ball back, obviously I got to stop Fenwick, get the ball back. All you need is one score to tie it up, and then you're back in the football game. So they're not losing by a lot, but they haven't proven that they can move the ball systematically down the field.
That was a big blocked field goal at the end of the first half. 10-0, what almost seemed like an insurmountable lead for St. Francis to come back from the way this Fenwick defense is playing, but they blocked the field goal. After all that, if you score the touchdown, you could go for 2 and potentially win this game 8-7.
Well, yeah, there's always that. You can win 8-7. I think if St. Francis scores, they're going to tie it up and kick the extra point, right? But you said it, that field goal, that would have made it a 2-score game, a good point in the game. But the difficulty was, I think that field goal is just a little bit farther than Fenwick wanted to be. So I don't know, what were the odds of that field goal going through? I mean, obviously you can make it from there, but that's not an easy kick, like a 36-yarder for high school. And oftentimes you go wide, or like in that case, get blocked. What they also had to guard against, it gets blocked and run back. Fortunately, that didn't happen.
For Alessio Milivojevic, the young man who'll be playing his college ball at Ball State, he's got to be frustrated, right? They've had some first downs, but they have not been able to get that ball into the end zone. Well,
that Fenwick defense has just been really, really stout. They started out with some passes to the sidelines, and that worked out okay, but nothing downfield's been open. They haven't been able to run. There's been no running offense on St. Francis at all that's gained any kind of yardage, pushing them back to 2nd and long a lot. So I think if I were St. Francis, I'd work on getting that run game wide, not up the middle, even though there's only 3 defensive players on the line. But go for those 4 or 5 yard gains to shorten 3rd down. And then I'd still not pass in such a way that the receiver has to come back toward the quarterback, but pass, slants, outs where the receiver can catch the ball and keep running.
So I bring up the analytics. The game of football has changed a little bit when it comes to coaching. The analytics are part of the game, and I bring that up because let's say Fenwick scores a touchdown. Normally you would say kick the PAT because the ball's placed at the 1 yard line, but if you go for 2 and you make it 15-0, meaning St. Francis has to convert a 2-point conversion to tie the game. For St. Francis, if you score a touchdown late in the game, it's 7-6. If you go for 2, you could theoretically win the game instead of forcing overtime.
Yeah, I'm in high school, especially in college. I think the odds of making that 2-pointer is higher than 50-50. If I'm the coach, I don't even kick the extra point ever. I'm always going for 8. Then I score 8, the other guy gets 7, or they try for 8 and they're not as well prepared as I am to get those 2 points. And even in the pros, I don't know why teams kick the extra point at all. Go for 2.
Well, the defensive backs and the D linemen are better at the NFL level than the college and high school level.
Well, and in the pros, yeah. But I think the odds, again, the analytics are, it's over 50%. If it's over 50%, you should be going for 2. It's just, to me, it's that simple.
Right. Remember, though, every little thing that you do as a head coach is scrutinized on Twitter, Facebook. Now, you have to be able to block that out as a head coach, but they're only human. Every little thing you do is scrutinized on Twitter. It's got to get to you a little bit.
Well, football, every other sport, it's like the copycat league. So once somebody starts going for 2 every time, I think you're going to see a lot of teams go for 2 every time. So I don't know how many years it's going to take, 5 years, 10 years, or whatever years, right? It's all the teams are going to go for 2, and then the rule changes will have to happen. They'll move that 2-point line of scrimmage back, maybe to the 5 yard line or something like that when it becomes too common. Similarly, this isn't a baseball game, but in baseball, remember when you have complete games and a reliever would pitch 1 inning maybe? Well, now you got a starter going 5 innings and relievers, for every 1 inning. Baseball is going to get to, you have a pitcher pitch 1 inning, 9 different pitchers the whole game. And I think you're going to see in football more than 1 quarterback a game as time goes on, but a little ahead of my time on these things.
Maybe very ahead of your time with the 2 quarterback system in the NFL.
Well, you'll see. It'll be in my lifetime.
It's interesting, though.
Right now,
personally, for St. Francis, if they score and it's 7-6 in the 4th quarter, I would go for 2.
I would not. I wouldn't want just a 50-50 of me making that, score and winning. I would kick the point, tie it up, and either take the tie. I just wouldn't risk losing the game at 50-50, especially when you work so hard to get that last touchdown late in the game. I would absolutely kick the point and tie it. But if I was that team that always went for 2 and you knew you had greater than the 50-50 probability of scoring, go for it. Get that 8-7 win.
Let's say you want to go for 2 in that situation. do you want to run a quick pass play to get it to your playmaker out in space, or do you run something that you ran mostly in practice?
Well, absolutely, you got to run it in practice first. But I think you cannot be one-dimensional. You can't just always run up the middle. You can't always pass it. The question becomes, what kind of team are you? What's your character? Are you a running team? You know, the I formation, you can always get 3 yards or 2.5 yards wide. Are you a shotgun team, and you can run up the middle still with a running back or a quarterback draw, a slant pass, for a 2.5-yard gain? I think you just have to follow the character of your team. But you have to have counter plays because you can't always pass it in. You can't always run it in. So if last week you ran it in, today maybe you got to pass it in because defenses watch the videos and they know how to stop your bread and butter play. You have to have a counter, and you have to have practiced it in practice for sure.
We'll see if the analytics come to play. I think they are, because I would be shocked if this game got to the 20s. I think it's going to be 14-13 or something like that when the fourth quarter ends.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. Again, if we just double the points, 7-0 turns into a 14-0 game. And, obviously it's not that simple, right? But I agree. I think you're looking at a 14-13 or a 14-14 kind of a finish.
So you got to think about that, because remember, overtime's weird because there's no more kickoffs or that. You get the ball placed at the 20-yard line. Actually, in high school, they place at the 10. So it becomes just a battle of defenses at that point. Do you really want to go into overtime, or would you rather win it in regulation on a 2-point conversion?
Well, and that's the question. If it were me, I look at it this way. I don't want to lose the game on missing that conversion. Sure, if I make it and I win 50% of the time. But if I really believe I'm a good team, right, I tie that score and go ahead and take my chances at being a better team from the 10 or wherever you got to do this in overtime. But I would absolutely tie the score in that specific situation you're talking about. Now, is it really going to come down to that? That time, will tell. But I think what we're looking at, I don't think we're going to see just one more touchdown the whole rest of the game. It's going to probably be 2 or 3 more scores. Teams now went to halftime, and they're going to make some adjustments. Both quarterbacks have real nice futures, arms. They're very talented. Both defenses have been very fortunate to hold both offenses. This is, like I said, a Las Vegas pick'em game.
So St. Francis will receive in the second half. They kicked off in the first half. Friars went 3 and out on their first possession of the game. They got past midfield a couple of times, did the Spartans, but they were not able to convert. They did not convert on that big fourth down inside the 30, but the Friars did. And they did it with their playmaker and Nate Marshall.
Pretty much like you said, the difference in the game. St. Francis, though, they are a good team, well coached. They are at halftime making adjustments. They are a high-scoring, potent offense. So I think what they are going to do, they're not going to go one-dimensional. They're not going to pass everything, and they're not going to run everything. So I think they're going to continue with the game plan. Since they are only down by 1 score, they don't need to deviate from that game plan. Obviously, they expect it to work, and certainly Fenwick has shut them down more than any other team has this year. But I think you're not going to see a one-dimensional team. They're going to come out and pass, then run, then pass, and methodically move the ball downfield. I would expect more passes to go to Alicio's brother, Dario.
Well, Fenwick has their work cut out for them this year. When all is said and done, they're going to face 3 2022 state champions, a runner-up, and 2 semifinalists from last year. Not a great kick, and it is
out of bounds. Yeah.
Procedure.
Well, yeah, out of bounds. So they get the ball at, 25-yard line?
But what was interesting is Fenwick did that early in the year. I'm sure you watched that broadcast, Bob. The first play against OPRF, it took a weird hop at the 1-yard line and then stayed in play, and then Fenwick recovered it inside the 5.
Yeah.
So it's not always a given when the kicker has a bad kick. Sometimes it takes that weird hop and stays in play, which is a live ball, of course, on a kickoff. But here we go, break for Milivojevic.
Yeah, I mistook the 25 and the 35-yard line. The ball's at the 35-yard line on that touchback. Not wise to kick it out of bounds because it's a long run to go from the goal line all the way out to the 35-yard line. But unfortunately, with about 2 yards to spare, it went out of bounds. So St. Francis has the ball almost midfield, 35-yard line.
2 in the backfield, Milivojevic in this offense. Handoff. Ball loose on the turf. He missed the tackle, but he swiped at it. a break for the Friars, because if that ball didn't come out, it looked like it was going to be a 5 or more yard gain for the Spartans.
Boy, I'm telling you, though, when that ball hit the ground, you hit the ground. The coaching staff is probably going crazy saying, no, you fall on that ball. It bounced just right, picked it up. Even if he picks it up, he only got, 2 yards or a yard after the pickup? No, you can't risk it. You got to fall on that ball. And the quarterback has to back it up. If somebody else picks it up because he didn't fall on it, he's got to make that tackle.
And that's what's tough sometimes about high school football. In college, you've got the headset on so you can hear the signals. In high school, you have to see the signals from the sideline, so you don't have that headset inside. That's a deep ball.
He's open.
Step on the defender. 50-50 ball. Let's see what the ref says. It'll be catch to the wide receiver, and that's the right call, Bob. 50-50 ball. If there's no clear possession, wide receiver gets the benefit of the doubt.
And he did get that benefit because it absolutely is. Both of them possessed that ball on the catch.
Right. The defensive back has to clearly swipe it away. That's why some coaches tell the defensive back, if in doubt, just knock that ball away. Don't go for the pick.
Yeah, well, maybe absolutely true, right? But on that play, we definitely got to replay that and see it. I think Fenwick has a point that maybe the defender had more possession of the ball than the offensive player had. So again, you got to replay. We can't tell; it's a long way away. But just by the body language and how it was caught, to me, it looked like the defender had it.
Yeah, but did he fully have it? If it's 50-50 in both players' hands, it's to the wide receiver.
Well, and then how do you call it this way, right? The defender catches the ball, the offensive player doesn't have it, and then grabs it in his midsection while they go down together. To me, that's not 50-50 possession, but it was called. The offensive team has it, so the ball's at the 20-yard line?
What poise in the pocket from Milivojevic. He recovers from that fumble. He did not go after that fumble, by the way, but he recovers with a great pass down the sideline to put his offense in a great spot.
Well, and I like it that he did go downfield. St. Francis, that's a great plan. First off, they go downfield. He did get behind the defense, right? And that also opens up the shorter passes. His brother, Dario, was on the right side. He tried to do a double move near us, and the defense had that covered with two defenders.
Milivojevic in the backfield, hand off to his backfield counterpart. Still on his feet, stiff arm action to the sideline, brought out of bounds.
Yeah, I like that sweep, right? It's hard to defend when you have so much real estate on one side or the other. So if you're St. Francis, assuming you like your ground game, do the same thing to the left and continue to get 7 yards, 5 yards, whatever per pop, and you will score a touchdown. Now on the flip side, Fenwick, because they're backed up against their own end zone, no receiver from St. Francis will easily get behind to them.
Ball placed at the 14-yard line, 2nd and 2 in the backfield. Only down by 7 are the Spartans partners, so you still got to be a little conservative. Try to at least get 3 points here. Break for the Spartans. It looks like it's offside against Fenwick.
I don't know that that's what they're going to call. Let's see. There was definitely illegal procedure, yeah.
I thought that Fenwick jumped first.
Well, they did, but they didn't jump across the line, and that caused the offensive guard to flinch, and that's the call. I don't like that. It seems to me like you're causing the penalty.
The line. It's not offside.
Right. I didn't think linemen were allowed to cause that flinch like that anymore.
Well, he accidentally did. It wasn't by design. He just didn't know the hard count. And they almost get it right back on that design run.
Yeah, they got the penalty yardage back, but now an additional down. So it's 3rd and about 2 or 3. They're definitely in 4-down territory. I think I'd try to keep the ball on the ground again. They've been successful so far with 2 running plays at this end of the field.
Yeah, so here's what you got to think about if you're Bob McMillan. Look, Milivojevic, he's not exactly a dual-threat QB, but it's only 3 yards. He's got good size. Roll him outside the pocket, see if he can get 3 yards.
I'd run, just runs, off tackle, slant like this. There you go.
Pitch play, some good blocking, and they're going to get the first.
Yeah, I'd stay with that kind of formula until they get the touchdown. Now they're only like 7 yards away. Anything wide. The trouble with running wide on Fenwick is they only have 3 down linemen, so that leaves 8 people for the pursuit. Usually it's easier to stop those wide runs with 8.
They're pretty good on the open field tackle.
Yeah, they are. But I still try to cram it through on the ground, on the sides, not up the middle.
Well, we talked about the analytics at halftime, partner. If St. Francis gets 6, do you go for 2?
I think they'll go for 1, but we'll find out what they actually do.
2 in the backfield, 3 wide receivers set.
Of course, we're conceding the touchdown, are we?
I don't know. You got a Division I recruit at quarterback.
Yeah, but they're running it, right?
Yeah, he hasn't passed a lot, although that great pass down the sideline set him up to this position.
They're losing a running back here, putting him out wide. And they are throwing.
Left, clean pocket. Milivojevic steps into it, and a huge hit delivered that time by Marshall.
I think if you were playing back what the announcers said, he wasn't a huge running threat.
Well, that's why I said he's not exactly a dual threat QB, but that was a Division I tackle there by Nate Marshall.
And I think a play call mistake by St. Francis. I think you needed to run wide. It has been working. Why not stay with it? Why put four receivers in that pattern out there? I think they needed to run that. Now the problem is you've only got, you still have 3 downs to get those 10 yards.
Yeah.
Second, third, and fourth.
12.
And I don't think you kick a field goal if you're within the 10. I think you go for it.
Fakes the handoff, Milivojevic.
It didn't get very far.
Fenwick.
Yeah, now it's 2 downs to get that touchdown.
Yeah, unless you get 8 or more yards, I think you just kick the field goal here.
Well, I think this is going to be video football. They're going to go for it. We'll see what they do, but I think they'll go for it.
You got to get at least 5 to consider going for it.
Yeah, and it's tougher and tougher now to stay on the ground 3rd and 10. They haven't proven that they have much running offense until this drive. Yeah.
They haven't had a lot of explosive plays running the ball.
No, I think you're going to look at a pass here. I mean, and why not? He's a good quarterback. He's going D1. He's the right guy to throw it. Let's see what they do. They rolled him out.
Inside the pocket, scans the field, taking his time to the sideline, up in the air, picked off, but was he out of bounds? And it was blown dead by the ref. I think that Milivojevic's foot touched the sideline just before he threw it.
At the same time, I find it really hard to believe he still launched that ball after he was out of bounds. But whatever, they're doing what you said. They're kicking the field goal. They brought in the field goal unit. He must have been out of bounds on that throw.
Yeah, he was. Good call.
And why would a Division I recruit throw the ball, a wounded duck, into more defenders than receivers?
I think he trusted his arm more than he should have, because if you're going to play that kind of play, throw it to the back end of the end zone where only your wide receiver can get it.
Yeah, an ill-advised throw. I think we're talking about somebody who's going to sit on the bench for the first couple of years and learn that way first.
30-yard kick. Kick is up. Very good boot. Right down the middle. And here we go, Bob. We got ourselves a ball game.
Yeah, 7-3. Well, it's still a ball game. 1 score no matter what, right?
So we're going to take a break. You're watching the Spartans against the Friars here on SBS.
Are you looking for some good food after a Fenwick football game? Then head on over to O'Sullivan's Public House. Located on Madison Street in Forest Park, O'Sullivan's Public House has daily drink specials alongside a year-round beer garden. Open daily from 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. O'Sullivan's PH offers dinner until 10 p.m. Even cooler, O'Sullivan's offers a late-night menu until 11:30 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. On the weeknights, O'Sullivan's has a late-night menu until 11 p.m. And for the fall season, O'Sullivan's will offer 20% off food for athletes and coaches following home Fenwick games. For more information, go online to o'sullivansfp.com.
Before we celebrated this special night, before we fell in love with our home all over again, we searched for a
7-3. What a break for St. Francis, as Milivojevic just went out of bounds when he threw it. Almost gave up 3 points on that ill-advised throw by Milivojevic.
Funny how you said a break for St. Francis. I was thinking, what a break for Fenwick, giving up just a field goal on that drive.
He had the pick if he had gone out of bounds.
Right, but St. Francis is 1st and 7 at the goal. I mean, at the 1st and goal at the 7. So they are lucky to only give up a field goal. Still going wide.
Still on his feet. Great return.
That's a good open field tackle to keep him at the 30.
Yeah, great return by Rowan White.
So, okay.
Graduate in May.
So we're halfway through the 3rd quarter, right? And Fenwick is up by half a score, we'll say it that way, right? But they've got the ball, so they can eat up some time. And their defense is shown to be very good. And their defense has been shown that they can even stop a team when they get down to the 7-yard line. Another field goal won't do it for St. Francis. So Fenwick, if they can eat up the clock and move the ball down the field, I'm not saying the game is over, but another score.
Do you keep putting Nate Marshall at wide receiver? It seems like that's a mismatch that St. Francis can't really handle right now.
I'm thinking a very loud explanation point after it, yes.
Merrick Hill outside the pocket, on the run. Little floppy throw. I don't think he got a full grip on that ball as he threw it.
Yeah, I think those little subtle things have to happen. It's hard to roll to the left and make that throw. The receiver wasn't really that wide open, okay? I think what you do in that situation is you run to the left and then next play roll to the right so that you have more field on that. I don't think throwing to the left side is the way to go here. I think stay right-handed, but you got to move the ball to the left hash mark to do that.
You got to keep the defense on edge. You got to show them different looks. Otherwise, they're going to force you to throw to this side of the field. Merrick Hill outside the pocket. Great stutter step move. He's going to get the first down on the QB sneak. Merrick Hill has been very impressive tonight.
It was great. Remember we were talking earlier about spying the quarterback? He was spied and just dekes at the spy out of his shoes and got, 10 more yards after that?
The old finger point. Hey, run down the field. The linebacker's like, what? And then he just runs past.
Yeah, it was like what Brady did to Urlacher that one game.
Hand off to DeLeese.
There's the run left we needed. Okay, now the ball is at the left hash mark. So now, well, it's kind of still in the middle, but at least further from the right sideline. So now they can run something to the right with the quarterback on a quarterback sweep.
32, DeLeese, take it down.
2nd and 6, ball at the 49. They're going to run Brown in motion. Clean pocket for Hill, not a great pass.
Yeah, that didn't go anywhere. There's that wide receiver screen.
It's kind of a Rex Grossman pass.
Pass complete to number 6, Andrew Bjorson.
So that does look like a play that Lovie Smith might have called for no gain.
No, that was the John Shoop offense. Lovie wasn't there during the John Shoop offense. 3rd and 6, offside against St. Francis.
It'll be interesting. If you look over there, it's like 5.5 yards for a first down. So if they mark it 5 yards, they still have a third and a half a yard to go. It's very close.
I know that these teams don't like to run it under center because they run the spread, but this is the play of the game where you want to be under center. It's a lot quicker to get that first down than when you run shotgun.
Well, I'm thinking you put a running back there. There he is, and run one way or other. You get that half yard, and you keep moving. Just 3 down linemen. It's almost like conceding the first down.
They're in a very short one. Hand off to DeLeese. He's going to get the first and more. Ball almost came out.
And I'm surprised he didn't say something about tackling the referee on the play. So the ball's on the left hash mark. So again, they've got the right side of the field, 3 receivers over there. Looks like only 2 defenders. There's the 3rd defender. Not passing it. Tough call.
Off to Amir. He's going to get a couple of yards.
I like what they're doing, though. That RPO right up the middle, it's working. So, 3 yards in those cloud of those rubber pellets. They keep moving the chains. Just like we talked about, Fenwick can eat some time, get another score. They can almost put it out of reach with a good drive here.
2nd and 8 right now for the Friars. Nino Samir. He's the bell cow back. We haven't seen a lot of Luke DeLeese in the second half, Bob. Avion Brown in motion, calls for the ball. Instead, they run a screen to Bjorson.
They've done that earlier, that screen up the middle. It's been effective. I mean, they gained 5 more yards here.
Inside the 35.
Pass complete to number 6, Andrew Bjorson.
3rd and 4 at the 34.
So this is a big play for St. Francis here. Again, I'm expecting the quarterback to roll right.
Clean pocket for Hill. He's going to run with it.
Yeah, it didn't go. Well, you're talking 4 down territory. You know they're going for it. So they felt like a quarterback draw at 3rd and 5 is the right thing to do. Get 2 or 3 or the first down. Now they got the remainder of that to pick up on 4th down. You know they're going to go for it.
I personally would punt, but I understand why they want to go for it.
Well, right. They've shown that they're going to make. This is video football, right? They're going to make. Video game football. They're going to make. So I expect again a rollout right or a quarterback draw. I don't think he'll throw. Let's see what he does.
Do you consider a hard count, run clock, and then call a timeout?
Well, I'm not a fan of the hard count. I don't think it works maybe but once a lifetime,
It's
right?
worked a lot. Unfortunately, it's worked against their own team. The false start.
Here's the roll right. There's the pass. Might be short. Not complete. Ouch. So the turnover.
Turnover on downs. Not a great throw that time.
No, it wasn't. And they didn't eat up as much clock as I thought they could. They ate up about 3 minutes, so there's still, a third of the third period to go in the whole fourth quarter. St. Francis with the ball. Yeah.
License plate S35
So St. Francis now, that drive did push them back. So St. Francis kind of has to go back to the drawing board. And the reason they got downfield, it was that long pass. So that's not a great strategy for moving the ball downfield consistently. St. Francis has had no consistent offense. To your point, the quarterback is not a dual threat. So they got to get downfield with runners going wide or so far throwing deep.
Tyvon Ransom, he had 116 rushing yards in that loss to Downers Grove North. The only loss of the year for the Spartans, 27-22.
But key word, loss. That is a long time.
Right up the middle, first down and more. Great run that time by the Spartans.
That almost had a drop play look to it. Stuck the ball out for the handoff. The running back didn't start right away. The defense had time to move, and he picked his hole and picked up a first down.
Text line still open, 330-957-7653.
St. Francis has been able to push the ball upfield on the ground. It was when they went to the air at the 7-yard line that failed.
Field goal really doesn't help them here. They're thinking 6. First and 10 at the 49. Clean pocket for Milivojevic. He scans the field. He's got a couple steps on the defender. Touchdown throw that time to Zachary Washington.
That was almost exactly the same play as before when they threw it downfield. His brother was on the near side doing a double move. 2 players were defending him. That left the bomb in the middle of the field, and the offense got behind it. And defenses should never let the receiver get behind their defense.
It's hard to defend when the quarterback's got 5 seconds or more to throw in that pocket.
Well, and he's quite accurate with that throw. I mean, you couldn't have placed it there in his hands better. Now here's the extra point.
Nothing's given when it comes to point after attempts in high school football.
And this one is big because this will cause, if Fenwick does get a field goal, it's a tie game instead of a loss.
Good snap, good hold. The kick right down the middle. That'll make it 10-7. So we'll take a break. You're watching the Spartans against the Friars here on SBS.
Are you looking for some good food after a Fenwick football game? Then head on over to O'Sullivan's Public House. Located on Madison Street in Forest Park, O'Sullivan's Public House has daily drink specials alongside a year-round beer garden. Open daily from 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. O'Sullivan's PH offers dinner until 10 p.m. Even cooler, O'Sullivan's offers a late-night menu until 11:30 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. On the weeknights, O'Sullivan's has a late-night menu until 11 p.m. And for the fall season, O'Sullivan's will offer 20% off food for athletes and coaches following home Fenwick games. For more information, go online to o'sullivansfp.com.
What a throw that time by Alessio Milivojevic. He had time to throw, and when you give a good quarterback time to throw, he's going to kill you.
Well, I don't want to be too fickle, but remember what I was saying? Maybe he needs a little bit more time on the bench at the next level. I don't know. That was a perfect throw.
It seems like he thrives when people don't expect a lot out of him. When he makes mistakes, people are like, maybe he's not so good. Then he delivers a strike for the touchdown pass.
Well, and a couple of strikes. There was that deep strike on the left side, now that deep strike up the middle, and both times used his brother as decoy on the near side. I like that play call. But Fenwick cannot let receivers get behind them. Not a deep kick.
They're going to run with it. Still on his feet.
I like the return, though. He could have let it go out of bounds. Maybe it would have been to 35. Here he got the ball. Well, maybe if he let it go out, it would have been better.
Remember, though, this field, you get some weird hops on those kickoffs.
You do, because it's a football, right? But it's turf, so it's more true than grass.
You get those weird Metrodome hops, the old hated Metrodome for Ozzie Guillen and the White Sox. The Twins would get these players like Christian Guzman, Lou Ford, and they would just hit these little ground balls up the middle, and they would always get infield singles on them, it seemed like.
Yeah, well, Ozzie was a pretty slick fielder, and you're even slicker on this kind of turf.
I meant when he was managing the Sox.
Oh, I see.
And the Twins would always beat them at the Metrodome.
Yeah, the Twins.
Another false starting.
Twins somehow had some magic over the White Sox for several decades.
They still do. Did you see the game last night?
I did not watch last night.
Yeah, you didn't miss much. 10-2 win for the Twins.
Yeah.
The White Sox have to win at least 7 games to avoid 100.
I saw that this morning's paper. If they go 7-9, I think they have to go. Right.
Still read a paper? What is this, 1955?
Yeah, they deliver it on my driveway and everything.
1st and 15 at the 27. Fakes the handoff, clean pocket for Hill, down the middle for Smith. He somehow caught it, first down for the Friars.
That was an excellent catch. It looked to me like he wasn't watching for the ball until the last second. Then when he saw the ball, he picked it up and grabbed it just past the first down marker. This is why you trust that receiver. He didn't need to see the ball for long, and he was able to make the grab. Nice pitch and catch there, right over the middle.
I'm going to start calling him the secret weapon. He was great in that OPRF game. He made that big touchdown catch against St. Ignatius, and when they need him, he delivers.
Well, he is not secret.
Handoff up the middle and didn't get much.
I like that, though. It was a run. Sure, it got stuffed, right? But you can't be just pass, right? You got to run to keep the defense honest.
Mike Leach would disagree with you.
Why would he disagree?
The old air raid offense.
Oh.
Throw it 60 times a game with Connor Holliday and that quarterback Graham Harrell.
The defensive line at St. Francis, only 3 guys doing a good job holding the runs down.
Not a great pass by Hill. You got to get that right in front. That was behind him. Should the wide receiver have had it, maybe it's in the hands, but you got to get that pass out in front.
Well, that's obviously the intent. I always give the benefit a little bit there. Maybe the wide receiver didn't run exactly the right route that he was supposed to. It looked to me like it was out by the 10-yard line, and the receiver maybe wasn't in the right spot.
Wide receiver thought it was a clear out to the sideline, and quarterback thought it was a comeback route.
Yeah, in any event, just didn't connect.
In any event, it's incomplete, and you got to get at least 5 to consider going for it.
Not Fenwick. Well, now we're going to learn. Okay, so you thought they got to get 5 or they punt. We'll see. The offense is there. The punting unit's not coming out. Remember, this is video game football.
Yeah, but do you really want to give Milivojevic great field position after he has some confidence on that touchdown throw?
I'm absolutely punting the ball here. But not Fenwick.
You are right, though, Bob. They have struggled a little bit with the punting game. A couple of those punts almost got blocked.
Well, but the ball goes a long way after he punts it.
You could do the rugby-style punt, too, but they're going to go for it.
I'm not a fan of this play. They're up the middle.
Still on his feet. He didn't get it.
Oh, they're going to give it to him. Watch. He's absolutely short.
It looks like he's a full yard short.
Let's see what they do.
Agree with me.
Yeah, that official's saying no, first down.
I disagree with that play call, but look, I get it, because if you don't trust your punting game, a blocked punt is worse than being a yard short of the first down.
Well, and I think the runner made the mistake. He caught the ball and then stopped his momentum. If the runner, caught the ball and kept going, right? I think he gets that first down. But it's hard when you turn around. You don't know if you're going to get hammered by Doug Plank.
And how big was that Doug Plank? That's a blast for the pass.
I know.
How big was that blocked field goal? It would be a 10-10 game right now.
Well, that was a long field goal. I felt like that was more like desperation field goal at the end of a half. Oh, let's try to get 3 points. Yeah, I guess it was a 36-yarder, and you hope your kicker can make it. But now St. Francis with the lead and the ball at midfield can eat up some clock, and if they score a touchdown, can put it out of reach. And I like this, staying on the ground.
Pitch play to the right. That's been their bread and butter in terms of the running game. They like to do the pitch play more than clear handoffs.
Yeah, right. St. Francis is good on the ground. He hasn't been so great in the air, but you have to say, haven't been so great in the air. Those 2 long bombs are what led to the 2 scores. Yeah.
With the passing game.
That's it. That is it. All right, so I'm here. It's almost a first down. 2nd and a yard. I run either up the middle or to the left. Go to the wide side so that they can run to the right later again.
1st and 10 at the 44, a hard count by Milivojevic, and Fenwick was not fooled.
Yeah, it's hard to keep the ball on the left side of the field when you keep running right, but that's what you want.
The hard count's so interesting. Greg Olson says the hard count usually isn't a design play. You just go out there and you yell out Omaha and biscuits and whatever to try to draw the defense offside. Meanwhile, a beautiful run that time by Ransom.
So you're saying that when Manning says Omaha, that's his hard count, and the defense jumps over? Yeah, Omaha, doesn't that mean kill? That's the kill play.
Yeah, Greg Olson, if you were listening to that Packers-Bears game, he said usually the hard count is a non-designed play, and the quarterback says 50,000 saying to try to draw the defensive lineman offside.
Yeah, but Omaha wouldn't be one of them, right?
Drew Switek. I repeat, Drew Switek. Please report to the concession stand. Thank you.
Drew Switek has to report to the concession stand, we just found out.
He won the raffle.
Oh. It's not he parked his car in the wrong spot?
No, I don't think so.
Probably not.
1st and 10, 29, 2 in the backfield. Good pass by Milivojevic inside the 10, eyeing the goal line, dives for it. Just short of the goal line is number 12, Merrickhill. Nope. That's number 12, Dario Milivojevic.
Right, brother to brother. Again, that slant. That's what I like. The receiver's on the move. St. Francis coaching staff is listening to the broadcast. Run those slants, brother to brother. That works.
Nice pass as
All
I
right,
watch on replay.
now they got to stay on the ground. Hammer it up the middle, to the right, to the left. Do not think of a pass here.
You consider going under center. Both teams don't like to do it.
I don't, just because it doesn't look like they ever run that play. They don't practice it, so you can't do something you're not used to running. Oh, somebody called timeout?
No, it's going to the fourth quarter.
Oh, it certainly is.
So we'll take a break. It's 10-7 St. Francis here on SBS.
Before we celebrated this special night, before we fell in love with our home all over again, we searched for a company to handle our entire remodel, from architecture and material selection to permits and complete construction with impeccable design. We found Airroom.
Visit the Airroom Design Build Center in Lincolnwood to explore your home's potential. Airroom. Architects, builders, remodelers. Your project begins at airroom.com.
Sure, my family loves me. They bought me this sweet new collar. My dog bowl is always full of Fido's finest. Heck, they even take care of the personal stuff on my walk. Come on, who does that? But what really sealed the deal for me was when they installed a security system from Forest Security. Hey, I'm no watchdog, you know? Forest Security offers the latest in technology and security for our home. Yeah, I'm pretty good at keeping an eye on things, but I also have stuff to do, like sleep and socialize. A smart security system can provide around-the-clock awareness and generate instant smartphone alerts. They let the family know if something is wrong or suspicious. They do all of the work for us, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You know what they say, you can't trust a dog to watch your house or your sandwich. Call Forest Security today.
Call us today at 708-452-2000 or visit forestsecurity.com.
First and goal at the 1-yard line. Alessio Milivojevic with a fantastic throw to his brother.
Oh, there was a good tackle, but he still made it.
Pushing for the goal line, waiting for the signal. Touchdown, St. Francis. But that was set up from the Milivojevic brother from number 11 all the way to number 12, and first and goal, and they punched it in.
Well, and I like our predictions again, right? We knew that there was only one score in the first half, and now, there's 3 more scores here already in the third quarter after that. So the teams have obviously made some adjustments. Well, more specifically, St. Francis has made some adjustments, I guess you'd have to say.
16-7, that's a killer for Fenwick. Now you got to score twice to send it to overtime.
Yeah, and St. Francis is discovering their running game.
Good snap, good hold. The kick, it's short.
No.
Missed to the right.
16-7, a 9-point lead.
Still helps St. Francis. Fenwick's got to score twice.
Still 2 scores, right? So with the whole fourth quarter to go, Fenwick,
Are you
who
looking
has
for
shown
some
that they
good
can
food after a Fenwick football game? Then head on over to O'Sullivan's Public House. Located on Madison Street in Forest Park, O'Sullivan's Public House has daily drink specials alongside a year-round beer garden. Open daily from 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. O'Sullivan's PH offers dinner until 10 p.m. Even cooler, O'Sullivan's offers a late-night menu until 11:30 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. On the weeknights, O'Sullivan's has a late-night menu until 11 p.m. And for the fall season, O'Sullivan's will offer 20% off food for athletes and coaches following home Fenwick games. For more information, go online to o'sullivansfp.com.
Back to the action at beautiful Triton College. Kyle Smith alongside Bob Vilsoe. Alessio Milivojevic, he hasn't been perfect tonight, partner, but when he's need to make big plays, he's made them.
Well, he's a good quarterback. That's why Ball State wants him, right? But I think the story of the game is St. Francis's running attack as well. Fenwick's having a tough time stopping the running attack in the second half. St. Francis's adjustments have been terrific, and I think they went wide.
Right up the middle, and He's going to get some positive yards past the 30, so Fenwick will have some decent field position, but they got to score twice. Good thing for Fenwick, they've got all 3 timeouts. Clock stops briefly on a first down, so you don't have to do the hurry-up offense yet.
Well, and that's the thing. They got to score twice, right? So they got to score maybe on this drive, right? Then St. Francis is going to have the ball. They're going to run some clock. So if Fenwick is to win this game, they're going to have to score maybe on the only 2 drives they get in the whole entire fourth quarter.
So we'll take a break. You're watching SBS, the broadcasting network for everyone. And then
kitchens carefully executed by our in-house team of designers and remodelers. With a renewed focus on spending quality time at home, Heirloom has created its most affordable kitchen transformation program yet. Introducing the Revive Kitchen. Imagine custom-made cabinetry, quartz countertops with a waterfall-wrapped island, soft closed drawers featuring walnut interiors, even an invisible phone charging station in multiple colors, styles, and configurations designed to fit almost any home. Over 14 upgrades in all. Call the number on your screen to set up a free design consultation, which includes 3D color renderings of your project. This limited time introductory offer can be yours for as little as $4.99 a month with 0 money down or 0 interest and installed in as little as 3 weeks. The Revive Kitchen, with all the luxury and experience Heirloom is known for.
First and 10 at the 32. After that touchdown to Nate Marshall, this Fenwick offense has been pretty non-existent.
Yeah, the whole second half. Well, I guess that means the entire third quarter.
Pressure comes, sack from behind. Good sack that time by Deshaun Williams, but Parker Merrill's got to get that ball out quicker.
Or roll out faster. But he's obviously, eyes peeled downfield looking for a pass. He's looking to make a play. You're down by 2 scores. You have to go for it. But here, you're in trouble. 2nd and 20.
Right, but you got to, if you're not going to complete the pass,
move.
Throw it at the feet, get it out of bounds. You cannot take an 8-yard sack there.
Yeah, he was looking to extend the play and a la Justin Fields and see what he can do.
You're just all on Justin Fields today. Out in the pocket is Hill. He's going to roll outside of it. Good throw, back shoulder play, and they get past the original first down marker.
That was a terrific pass. He saw that the receiver saw him, right? The defender had his back turned to him. So it was an easy throw to the outside, but in a 15-yard completion.
The passer, yeah.
Oh, no. Is that really happening?
Yep. As you watch it on replay here, yeah, it was an ill-advised hit. It was like one of those not really necessary hits. Is it roughing the passer? Maybe not in 1957, but in 2023, it's roughing the passer.
Yeah.
You ever seen that video where in order to sack the quarterback, you have to lull him to sleep and put the pillow under?
Yes, I have seen that. That's a great commercial.
First and 10 at the 50. Out to TJ Smith.
Favorite receiver.
Look, I get it. When your starting quarterback gets hurt, your chances of winning football games are a lot less, but not always. Kurt Warner was a backup.
We're talking professional quarterbacks here?
Well, in any type of football, just because your starter goes down doesn't mean that your team is, not going to win football games. Rolls outside the pocket, Hill on the run, and
that was a breakthrough on the defensive line, and that's what caused him to have to throw the ball sooner. St. Francis is getting up slow.
Yeah, it's Deshaun Williams who had the sack.
Yeah, 3rd and 7 now. I guess it's obviously 4-down territory.
Yeah, now it is because you're down 2 scores.
Right.
If you were down 1 score, you'd probably punt. But
yeah, it's been 4-down territory, what seems to be the whole entire game for Fenwick. Makes it tough on defenses, though. You got to stop them 4 times, not 3 times.
3rd and 6. Hill with it. Outside the pocket, picked off. Good pick that time by Washington. Still on his feet. Past the 35-yard line. Not a good decision by Hill because they still had 1 more down to work with.
Well, I mean, what can you say? It's just an ill-advised pass right into the defender's hands. He's obviously trying to force the ball upfield, realizing he's down by 2 scores. But, that's what causes you to be behind 3 scores. So you just have to throw that one away or find somebody else or run with it.
If it's 4th and 6, yeah, you've got no choice. You've got to try to throw it into a tight window. 3rd and 6, if you know it's 4-down territory, throw it out of bounds and live another day.
Well, and what kills me on that is it was right in the defender's hands. I mean, it wasn't like a miraculous catch. It was just like too easy.
Yeah, Rex Grossman, Justin Fields.
Now more like Nathan Peterman. Nathan Peterman.
Yeah, remember that game? His first ever game, he was so bad, so they benched the starter. What was his name? He's a pretty good quarterback. He's with the Giants now. Anyways, they benched him. They were 5-4 on the years.
Well, now you have more time to tell the story.
I can't remember his name. He's a pretty good quarterback. He played at Virginia Tech.
St. Francis.
It's a timeout by St. Francis. We'll stick with the action. I forget his name. I can't think of his name. But anyway, he was quarterback at Virginia Tech, played with the Bills, and they were 5-4 at the time. Peterman got the start as the rookie, and he threw 5 picks that day. So they had to put the starter back in after he just got benched.
Yeah.
That's how bad Peterman was.
Right, and the Bears, well, I guess they don't have Peterman anymore. I think he's on the practice squad. I do want to see more Badgent. I think that guy has a future. Kind of reminds me of Brock Purdy a bit on the 49ers. You kind of get overlooked because you're drafted late, but you got to look at it longer, I think.
I do like Brock Purdy, but the problem is he's got so many playmakers. How much work does he really have to do when he has so many guys to throw to that are all pros, potential Hall of Famers?
Boy, that was a mouthful on that one. If you have playmakers, you're destined for the Hall? I mean, wow.
I'm saying all of his guys are potential Hall of Fame players, especially Christian McCaffrey.
So we're saying if Purdy were on the Bears, it wouldn't look pretty?
Probably not. And good play on words there. 1st and 10, ball at the 38. Fenwick, they've got some trouble brewing right now for them.
Oh, right up the middle, wide open.
Touchdown save and tackle as delivered that time by Henry Flueck.
But that's what St. Francis has to continue to do, keep the ball on the ground and continue to grind this out, eat clock. They're up 2 touchdowns.
Just don't turn the ball over. If in doubt, if you're Milivojevic, just throw it away.
So if the coaching staff is listening to this broadcast, they would know what to do.
One time Milivojevic did not throw it out of play, and that was a big play.
That sure was.
It would be 13-7 right now instead of 16-7. Completely different ball game.
What's amazing is he actually stepped on the line and then threw it.
Right. So he actually meant to throw it, not meant go out of bounds. Yeah, it's close to the original line of scrimmage.
Or if you're just going to toy with the defense, step on the line on purpose and then throw it in their hands. And we can't blame, remember earlier in the game, Fenwick had that long pass that was in bounds and they called it out of bounds. We can't blame that because on that very same drive, Fenwick scored. So we can't say Fenwick has, been robbed.
The 50-50 ball, I saw it on replay. It sure looked like it was a clear 50-50 ball, no clear possession.
Yeah, I thought the defender had it, but 50-50 is what they called.
Handoff off the left side, still on.
Another first down.
Most of the game, Fenwick's been good on the open field tackles, but they look a little gassed, and it's showing right now.
Yeah, well, you wear a defense down. There's only 3 down linemen for Fenwick, and that's got to be hard on them.
A field goal would somewhat help St. Francis, but really you want to get 6 points. So unless it's like 4th and 10, they'll probably go for it. Right now it's 3rd and 1.
Yeah, 9 points, 12 points, doesn't really matter much. You're right. A touchdown makes a big difference. But what's mattering now is the clock is running.
Too early to call timeouts, though, if you're Fenwick.
Yeah, that clock is going fast. We're almost at the halfway point already.
You surprised they're not going under center?
I just think that they don't practice it, and they like to stay in the shotgun at all times. That way you only have to practice one formation, not others.
Fakes the pitch to the sideline. Tough throw. Very good coverage that time by Eric Furjak.
Yeah, but maybe so. But I feel like the receiver had the ball in both hands while he's up off the ground. I feel like that was very catchable. It was a good throw. I don't know.
Keep that foot in. Furjak did a good job forcing the receiver close to the sideline.
Yeah, I'm thinking at the next level, that's a college reception. That should have been caught, I think. But it's easy for me to say, 300 feet away up behind the stands.
You're an excellent armchair quarterback.
That's
Bob.
right.
4th and 1. You've got all 3 timeouts. If you're St. Francis, you can do the hard count here, but they'll run the play. They got it in Moore still on his feet, close to the 20.
Yeah, forget the hard count. Just keep running. And now the runs up the middle are working. Fenwick's in trouble. They're not stopping anything on the ground. And, arguably, I don't think they should have passed on 3rd down, right? Giving themselves 2 tries to get that first down. But maybe that longer pass is softening up the safeties, and they can't come up and help. Maybe even the linebackers. And leaving the run stopping to just those 3 down linemen. I'm thinking if I'm Fenwick, I got to stack the line more. You cannot let them run up the middle with 7 minutes to go in this game down by 2 scores. And if you can stop the run and force the 2nd and long, maybe you can pull an interception out. You can get a defensive stop that way.
They're going to run Washington in motion. 2 in the backfield, 3 wide receiver set. Pitch play. And
yeah, I used to play this game called QB1 where you predict are they going to run or pass. And boy, you keep the ball on the ground. Run right, then run left, run middle, run right, run left, run middle. Do not pass for nothing. Keep the ball on the ground with the lead, 2 scores. St. Francis has got this game unless they blow it with a turnover.
can you imagine if we had a time machine and somebody from the 1920s that played football watched this shotgun offense and they would be like, what is this?
Agreed. But then, to be fair, 2 rules have changed over the years. I mean, there's more rules in football than I think the U.S. tax code.
Thank you. You're here till Thursday. Try the veal.
Yeah. I call you the comedian sometimes during the day.
Good. That one was good. 1st and 20 at the 42. Do you want to be conservative here if you're St. Francis?
I still do. I don't think I'm even trying for their first down. You keep the ball on the ground, eat some clock, put the ball at the other end of the field.
Final reminder for the text line, 330-957-7653. As you would expect, St. Francis runs it, a run blitz that time by Fenwick as they stack the box, but the problem with that is the clock continues to run.
Right, and yeah, obviously that run blitz was effective, so I'd sweep left or sweep right. Sweep somewhere, yeah, you're not going to get a first down, but stay in bounds, keep the clock going, 4th down, punt it, make it hard for Fenwick. 2 scores, now we're down to 6 minutes. You're not going to get a first down unless there's some kind of odd defensive holding call.
Do you consider a screen pass, or you don't want to try any kind of pass for the possibility of incompletion?
I wouldn't even do that. Keep it on the ground. Maybe a pitch is as far as I'd let it get out of the quarterback's hands. Pitch left, pitch right. I would just flat out sweep left or right. If you wanted to do a jet sweep, maybe, but they haven't shown that today yet either, so I would just run left.
2nd and 25, as you would expect. They run it again. It's got a lot of running room.
Sure did. And that allows them now not to punt. That was a good gain. What, 15 yards?
Yeah, so 3rd down coming up.
Yeah, that was a big run. That's a game-changing run right there. If they were 3rd and 25 or 4th and 25, 3rd and 25, you're likely to punt, but now you're 3rd and 10.
Do you consider passing?
I would stay on the ground, especially with those kinds of run gains. I mean, they're just getting chunks of yardage right up the middle. Defensive line has turned into Swiss cheese for Fenwick. That's too bad. They had a great first half. But when you're constantly blocking against 5 linemen and you're 3 of you, it does wear you out.
3rd and 11 with under 6 minutes to go. 2 in the backfield.
Right up the middle again, maybe to the left.
Just stay out of bounds.
Stay in bounds. Yeah.
Right. Stay out of, stay away from the sideline.
Oh man, they're just giving up too many yards. Now it's 4th and 3, and Fenwick is showing no ability to stop St. Francis. What a great job by St. Francis this game.
They're going to go for it.
Oh, of course. Risk another blocked field goal.
You could do a pooch punt if you want.
No.
You're just not a fan of that pooch punt.
Well, not when you're moving the ball, 15 yards a pop.
Yeah, Washington and Ransom just running it right down the throat of the Friars.
You don't even need to score a touchdown here. You could end the game with the clock.
Takes a handoff.
I cannot believe he's throwing
Double coverage down the sideline. I hate that play call. I really hate that play call.
Yes, absolutely. Not a good play call at all. Sorry, folks. But the clock would have stopped after it anyway. But I think the way that they've been moving the ball on the ground, they get the first down.
They've been pretty successful with the screen pass. You run the screen pass, get it to your playmaker out in space. If you don't get the first down, that's fine, but the clock would continue to run until the tackle is made. You get it out in space. You only needed 3 yards. I don't know why you're going for the touchdown pass on 4th and 3.
Yeah, clearly that's what the reads led you to. They thought man-to-man tight coverage, you throw it over the top. But yeah, no, they needed to run. They were getting 10 yards a pop every time they run the ball. Fenwick hasn't shown any ability to stop them.
Right.
I think they could have just run the ball right up the gut and got a touchdown.
If you're going to do that, I'd like to see a slant play over the middle, not tight coverage on the sideline like that.
Well, here you go. Now Fenwick has to score twice with only 4 minutes left.
Gets outside that pressure. After all that, it was almost accidentally completed to Rowan White.
You have to double cover him if you're St. Francis. They're going to him a lot. He's obviously their number one receiver. He's a major talent.
You still have time. You need to score in the next 2 minutes, and you have to do the onside kick, you would think.
I would
You do
think.
have 3 timeouts, so you don't necessarily have to do the onside kick.
Right, and sometimes in football, 4 minutes is an eternity. But in this game, the way it's been going, 4 minutes is not an eternity.
Quick pass.
There's that pass coming back to the quarterback I'm not necessarily a fan of. I mean, yes, you have to have it in your repertoire, but if you complete it, you're not going anywhere on the ground after that, and you got to pick up more than 5 yards. So I want some kind of pass where you're leading the receiver across the middle, down deep, something. That's going to be off, too many men. Flags coming up. This is a free play.
Gets outside the pocket, this Hill. Good completion that time to White. A little bit high, but White made the adjustment for the catch.
Yeah, that'll be declined. That was the 12 men on the field.
Problem with that is it technically gives St. Francis a free timeout to readjust their defense. Fenwick would have loved that, hurry-up offense to continue to run another play. It stopped the clock, but it gave St. Francis a pseudo free timeout.
Well, it was stopped after the first down, and the penalty declined.
Yeah.
Rushing just 3 people.
Completed to Marshall, trying to break through a tackle, eyeing the first down.
They stopped the clock. He got out of bounds.
What do you want to do here if you're Fenwick? Do you want to try to get a quick field goal to do the onside kick, or do you try to waste time, get the touchdown, then do the onside kick to get the field goal?
I always try for the touchdown first, right? But you have a point. If you get into a touchdown or field goal range like the 20-yard line, it's not a bad call. But I don't know that Fenwick's thinking it's got to be a touchdown and a field goal. I mean, Fenwick's just equally capable to just score 2 touchdowns. So I think you try to get the first touchdown for sure.
But if it's taking too much time to get the touchdown, if it gets under 2 minutes, kick the field goal?
Well, yeah, boy, that would be a tough situation. No, I think you try to still score that touchdown, unless you're like 4th down and 32 or something like that. And, of course, if you're 4th and 32, that field goal is not going to go in either, right?
Call up Adam Vinatieri, see if he can forge his birth certificate to be an 18-year-old student at Fenwick. You ever seen the movie The Benchwarmers?
I have not seen that one.
They call up like a 40-year-old, and they give a birth certificate to the umpire, and all it says is, I am 12 in crayon.
Yeah, right.
There's a $20 bill attached to it. Clean pocket for Hill.
Wide open.
Man. TJ Smith. Touchdown. Friars. What happened there, Bob? He was wide open.
You said it. He was wide open. I mean, you can't say anything but blown coverage, right? And a fantastic throw right in his midsection. Perfect throw, score. Now they're only down a field goal. If the kick goes through, then they're down less than that. This is not a formation I would be using here, but they'll close it up.
Wow, that's the one guy you want to cover, too. That's their second best receiver tonight besides Marshall.
Now St. Francis really needs its running game.
Low kick, but they got it. 16-14, don't go anywhere. Get your popcorn ready. It's going to be quite a finish. You're watching the Friars against the Spartans here on SBS.
Are you looking for some good food after a Fenwick football game? Then head on over to O'Sullivan's Public House. Located on Madison Street in Forest Park, O'Sullivan's Public House has daily drink specials alongside a year-round beer garden. Open daily from 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. O'Sullivan's PH offers dinner until 10 p.m. Even cooler, O'Sullivan's offers a late-night menu until 11:30 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. On the weeknights, O'Sullivan's has a late-night menu until 11 p.m. And for the fall season, O'Sullivan's will offer 20% off food for athletes and coaches following home Fenwick games. For more information, go online to o'sullivansfp.com.
$16-14 is the score after it looked like that St. Francis was going to win by 2 scores. Now they got to get a couple of first downs, assuming, of course, that Fenwick doesn't do the onside kick. What do you think if you're the Friars, onside kick or a straight kick?
I would absolutely onside and go for the win that way, because all the other team needs is 20 yards. So it doesn't matter if it's 20 yards there or 20 yards here, right? So kick it onside and hope for a recovery. I think what I would try to do is hit it real hard and hope that bounces off somebody's shoulder pads.
Got to get it high to the sideline, give your teammate a chance if you want to do the onside kick. Here it is, not a good one. Easy return for St. Francis. And look, it's a lot easier for me to say not a good kick. I'm not the one kicking it. It's hard to do those onside kicks, but it wasn't a good one regardless by Fenwick.
Well, they did kick it hard, hoping it would bounce off a chest protector and it would bounce back, or a shoulder pad or something. It would bounce back and they could recover it. The St. Francis wisely let it go through for the second tier of players to grab it. So they got the ball basically midfield. They still need about 2 first downs to eat the clock, maybe a third, because St. Francis has its,
Fenwick's got 3 timeouts.
Fenwick's got their 3 timeouts, so they can extend this. So they might need a third first down to eat the whole clock. In the meantime, they're going to now stack the line. It's not just running against 3 down linemen. So we don't know that St. Francis is even going to be able to get a first down.
If you're Bob McMillan, do you put the ball in your playmaker's hand in Milivojevic and make some plays with his arm?
No, I wouldn't. I would run.
Handoff. Didn't get much. Read well by the Friars. Getting to the tackle that time is Tommy Thies. First time out by Fenwick. We'll stick with the action. What a game at Triton College.
Yeah, and this gorgeous football night, too. This is, I was going to say earlier in the game that it's not quite yet an instant classic, but I think it's already become an instant classic. This is a great game to play it back and watch.
You remember the old days of ESPN Classic?
Yeah, and they might not be done yet. 16-14, a field goal wins it. They've got 2nd and 10. They stop the run like they need to. Probably on 4th down, they're going to have to punt. Right now, St. Francis doesn't look like they can get a first down. Now that they're going to stack the line. And like you said, you can let the quarterback throw for it, but that's not something I would do.
Well, if you're Bob McMillan, what you're thinking is, look, they're going to call a timeout on 3rd down anyways. So when we get to 3rd and 5, 3rd and 7, whatever it is, we pass the ball, because if it's incomplete, yeah, it stops the clock. But they're going to stop the clock anyways with their 3rd and final timeout.
Right, but I don't want them to have one more timeout on the opportunity to get the ball downfield. One less timeout can mean the difference of going 80 yards or not for a touchdown. I can tell you this, though, working backwards, I would kick on 4th down. So you only got, 2nd down and 3rd down to get this first down, and you only got 2 running plays to do it. I think we're looking at a punt here soon.
Whatever you do, don't fumble the football.
Or an interception. They're throwing it. I cannot believe it.
To the right, wide open receiver.
Don't go out of bounds.
Great tackle, and he has help on it, but great job on the initial tackle by number 12. It's not 12, right? Merrick Hill is number 12. No, it's 15, Donnell French.
Yeah,
3rd short, obviously to go for it.
Yeah, and great confidence in the quarterback. So this, you feel like, is the play of the game, but this is one of many of the plays of the game. A first down doesn't ice it, but makes it real tough. If they don't make it, I don't think you go for it on 4th down. You punt it away. Meanwhile, the clock ticking.
Here's where the shotgun hurts you, Bob. It takes longer for that play to develop, allowing the defensive line to get penetration.
That's true, and we haven't seen anything but shotgun all day.
3rd and 2, ball at the 48. Fenwick showing pressure. They're stacking the box, just begging Milivojevic to beat him. Handoff, up the middle, first down for the Spartans.
Right, and that's what they need to keep doing. That exact same running play, maybe off tackle rather than off guard, right? Just, you gotta give a quick opener up the middle, something. You have to run it.
Fenwick's in trouble now.
Yeah, and I don't think I would. Yes, Fenwick is in trouble, and I think I wouldn't rule out running wide. Just don't go out of bounds. The receiver did a great job on the far side, fighting to be tackled in bounds. Clock's still going.
1st and 10, ball placed at the 45. No need to pass it if you're Milivojevic and this deadly St. Francis attack.
Right, you got 3 running plays, and there was only 2 timeouts, so even if you get the ball back at your own 20 or whatever, you're going to have less than a minute.
Handoff off the right side. And for Fenwick, one guy makes the tackle, the other guy swipes at that ball.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I think exactly the first guy gets there and stops the runner, tees him up, holds him up, and the second guy comes in and grabs the football. Absolutely.
The old peanut punch.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. And that's also why you'll see the running back get to the ground after the initial contact. You're at this point with just a minute 38. I don't know that St. Francis is even needing the first down.
So Fenwick has called 2 timeouts. We'll stick with the action.
Yeah, you got 2 running plays to go and 2 timeouts used.
1:33 remaining. Fenwick fought hard, but partner, just not enough consistency with this offense. And you always got to consider that interception that Merrick Hill. It didn't really hurt this Fenwick team, but it was a play that impacted this game because if he didn't throw that pick, it would have been 4th down. Instead, it gave Milivojevic and this St. Francis offense an extra possession.
Boy, it sure did. I mean, it's a huge play in the game. I mean, it's obviously a turning point. There's always many turning points in the game, but that was obviously a huge one. Maybe the number 1 turning point play of the game, other than those 2 bombs, right?
2nd and 8. Just avoid the sideline if you're Ransom, and he might have been knocked out. What the heck is Ransom thinking?
Well, that's what happens when you run to the short side. I do like that they went wide. It's okay to do that. You know, running
stay
up
in bounds.
Well, stay in bounds would have been obviously, but better. But you know, he was definitely pushed out of bounds. It wasn't like he tried to
just go down. Just go down. Knees.
Well, I think they were looking to get that first down. And now here on 3rd down, if they can get the first down here, it's over. And I also think on 4th down, you can still punch it. You're far enough away that the punt's not going to help you a whole lot anyway. You got 2 downs for a first down here, and then it's over.
3rd and 2. Not a great snap. And he's stuffed short. Tackle for a loss for the Friars. They'll call their final timeout.
So 1:28. So they either get the ball right there, or if St. Francis can get a first down, the game's over. 3 yards. That's the question.
Take a timeout. You're watching SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
For over 60 years, Air Room has been creating award-winning kitchens carefully executed by our in-house team of designers and remodelers. With a renewed focus on spending quality time at home, Air Room has created its most affordable kitchen transformation program yet. Introducing the Revive Kitchen. Imagine custom-made cabinetry, quartz countertops with a waterfall-wrapped island, soft closed drawers featuring walnut interiors, even an invisible phone charging station in multiple colors, styles, and configurations designed to fit almost any home. Over 14 upgrades in all. Call the number on your screen to set up a free design consultation, which includes 3D color renderings of your project. This limited time introductory offer.
4th and 3, play of the game. The last hope for Fenwick against St. Francis.
It almost looks like a pooch punt formation, doesn't it?
Rugby
nope, they're throwing.
Punt.
Oh, he did pick. Oh, I cannot believe it.
Waited way too long to punt it. And partner, that's a play that Milivojevic can get hurt on. You got to punt that ball a lot quicker.
I don't understand that play call again, right? Well, whatever.
I don't mind it, but get the punt off quicker.
Yeah, I would have run up the gut with that really potent running attack. Right. All they needed was 3 yards. If they get the 3 yards, the game's over. Here, by punting it, they're giving the ball up. It's some yard line.
Right. What Bob McMillan is thinking, if I get the ball inside the 10, it forces this offense to go all the way down the field.
Right, but what you saw on that last touchdown, you could be 40 yards away or 80 yards away. That same play scores a touchdown.
Yeah.
I think the best way to ice that game is run for 3 yards up the middle. And if they don't get it, they don't get it. The ball would be right about here anyway. But anyway, 65 yards away?
I don't mind the play call so much. I hate the execution of it.
Right. Now the defense has to keep the receivers in front of them the whole time. They can't let anybody get deep.
Merrick Hill complete, but Jorson with yards after catch. 1st and 10, not good tackling that time.
Right.
St. Francis.
And a broken tackle like that. Now they don't have to get a touchdown, but they do got to get about, the worst case 20-yard line. So you don't have to score a touchdown to win, but remember we were talking earlier, you don't have to get a TD and a field goal. You can get 2 touchdowns to win this.
I don't hear any fat ladies singing yet, Bob. Over the middle, Marshall is drilled, but he completes the pass.
Well, and that should stop the clock. Yep, it stops the clock. First down. There's still plenty of time.
What a hit, though, that was delivered by Corin Greenwell.
I think regardless, this is an instant classic.
Hill in the pocket, clean pocket for Hill, scans the field, pressure comes, he gets outside of it, lost the ball on the turf.
No, they got it back. I love it when you say clean pocket and then you get sacked.
Well, it's clean pocket for a couple seconds, not for eternity. You got to get outside that pocket. You got to be thinking in your head, 1,000, 2, 1,000. Now I get out of it.
2nd down.
After all that, the Friars got it back. Clean pocket for Hill. Now he's flushed outside of it. Wide open man, bad throw.
Well, he had to hurry.
But not a good throw.
Yeah, certainly not a clean pocket there. He had to get the ball out of his hands quickly, and it was just too quick, and that pressure is what caused that incompletion to happen. But now we're at third down. See, the field goal, 52-yarder, probably not going to happen.
You got to get to at least the 20 to even consider it.
Right. Third and something. See, I'm looking for safeties. I'd have a deep safety.
Almost offside.
No, he didn't try cross the line. He was hoping for a procedure call.
St. Francis has 2 timeouts. They can call a timeout anytime they want to give their defense a breather. Flushed outside the pocket, Hill with it, fakes the throw, still on his feet, eyeing the first down marker, gets out of bounds.
Oh no, the late flag. That's the worst thing that can happen to St. Francis right there. The quarterback's out of bounds, a late hit, going to push the ball down to about the 7 or 8 yard line. A field goal wins it, and they still got enough time to run a play.
Remember, nothing is guaranteed in the special teams department of high school football.
No, but they're going to get a snap or two from inside the 10, I'm guessing. A game that St. Francis seemingly had sewn up going into the fourth quarter as the lights just went out. Now, interesting, the lights went out. They'll probably take some time to turn them on. They don't just go back on. You got to warm them up.
And Fenwick is irate right now, Bob, because this gives St. Francis a free timeout to talk about it. Not good for Fenwick, but it happens.
But it happened, right? Unbelievable.
We'll take a break. You're watching SBS, the broadcasting network for everyone. Turn the mic.
Are you looking for some good food after a Fenwick football game? Then head on over to O'Sullivan's Public House. Located on Madison Street in Forest Park, O'Sullivan's Public House has daily drink specials alongside a year-round beer garden. Open daily from 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. O'Sullivan's PH offers dinner until 10 p.m. Even cooler, O'Sullivan's offers a late-night menu until 11:30 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. On the weeknights, O'Sullivan's has a late-night menu until 11 p.m. And for the fall season, O'Sullivan's will offer 20% off food for athletes and coaches following home Fenwick games. For more information, go online to o'sullivansfp.com.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. SBS offers live telecasts on Channel 59.3, YouTube, or Twitch. We include pre- and post-game interviews with the players.
You know, it started in the locker room. All the boys were getting going before the game and stuff, and we kind of found a little click at the beginning of the game, so I think that's what got us going.
We also include digital live statistics, play-by-play commentary, team highlight reels, and even more than that. Go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com or search Sports Broadcast Solutions on YouTube. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. At SBS, we offer a professional broadcasting experience for the non-professional athlete. Just like the pros, we offer everything for you. Play-by-play commentary.
A no-hitter at Kane County Stadium. 15 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 error, and that's it.
Color commentary, highlight reels, recruiting videos, and much, much more. Unlike our competitors, we zoom in on the action and always have a live scoreboard with a live time code. If you're ready to have your next sporting event feel like CBS Sports, then make sure to call Sports Broadcast Solutions today. Our phone number is 330-957-7653, or you can go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Missing your child's sporting event just plain stinks. But you don't have to worry about that anymore, thanks to Sports Broadcast Solutions. SBS is a live broadcasting network, as well as covering your on-demand needs, recruiting videos, highlight reels, and much, much more. We can broadcast live to any website, and we also post as much on-demand content as you need. For more information about SBS, check out our website at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Let SBS broadcast your sporting event. We have experience and can generate excitement and permanent digital memories for your team.
Tonight. That time, finally a goal for the Stampede.
We have professional videographers using high-definition modern-day cameras, color analysts, and play-by-play announcers with state-of-the-art, classy graphical scoreboards to keep you updated. Plus, we have commercials to advertise your team, club, or sponsor, and us. Plus, we do pregame and postgame interviews.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the postgame show brought to you by Marion Central Catholic. My name's Kyle Smith. Well, my name doesn't matter. These young ladies matter. It's senior night as the Hurricanes win a battle down the stretch, 48-46.
Hi, I'm Carrie Kramer. I swim 50 breast, 50 free, and 100 back.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world.
Good evening, everybody. Kyle Smith alongside Bob Vilsaway. If you're confused, you're not alone. We're confused too. The lights went off. Our theory is the lights automatically go off at 10 o'clock here at Triton, so they're trying to get them back on. First and goal right now for Fenwick once we get the lights back on. It stinks for Fenwick because it gave St. Francis a free timeout, plus it allowed their defense to take a breather when they looked really gassed.
Well, it does. It changes so many things. Defense was gassed. Now the offense can go off and decide how do they want to score 2 points with 24 seconds and the ball is approximately at the, well, we don't really know. They didn't mark it, but we were thinking about the 7 or 8 yard line. Should they run a play and then kick? Should they just kick right away, get that field goal out of the way and then rely on the return of the punt not to work? Why did the lights go out? 10 p.m. is as good a guess as anybody. It's probably pretty logical. And then, of course, the defense now getting a breather. They might be able to run blitz or block the punt. Like you said before, anything can happen on the special teams thing.
You brought up a good point, Bob. It's not that they punted it, but you should have your actual punter punt and not your quarterback on that.
Yeah, they got, again, confused over there on what kind of play call to make. I mean, you're talking 4th and 3. If they get 3 yards, it's first down, the game's over, right? So I would have run it to get those 3 yards. If you're going to punt it, you don't know how many times that quarterback has ever actually punted the ball. I just think using your punter on that play would have been a lot smarter if that was the call you're going to make. Thirdly, if you really wanted the ball downfield, put a receiver downfield and let the defender intercept it. Maybe the defender is smart enough to knock it down rather than intercept it, but if he doesn't do that and your receiver catches it, you also have a first down.
Right.
But punting it, anyway, and then the punt went out of bounds, so it was no gain on that. And I think once you turn the ball over, whether Fenwick gets to go 80 yards or 50 yards, the same long bomb is still going to score.
Then head on over to O'Sullivan's Public House, located on Madison Street in Forest Park. O'Sullivan's Public House has daily drink specials alongside a year-round beer garden, open daily from 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. O'Sullivan's PH offers dinner until 10 p.m. Even cooler, O'Sullivan's offers a late-night menu until 11:30 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. On the weeknights, O'Sullivan's has a late-night menu until 11 p.m. And for the fall season, O'Sullivan's will offer 20% off food for athletes and coaches following home Fenwick games. For more information, go online to o'sullivansft.com.
Before we celebrated this special night, before we fell in love with our home all over again, we searched for a company to handle our entire remodel, from architecture and material selection to permits and complete construction with impeccable design. We found Air Room.
Visit the Air Room Design Build Center in Lincolnwood to explore your home's potential. Air Room. Architects, builders, remodelers. Your project begins at airroom.com.
Huge difference. 22-yard line, you can stop a run or two. It's only 24 seconds left. There's no timeouts. Not for Fenwick, right? So they got to kick a long field goal here. This is a chip shot.
They even take care of the personal stuff on my walk.
And these lights, they're not going to come on anytime soon, right? Because even if they go back on, it takes X amount of time for them to warm up. It's not like you flip a switch and the lights go on.
I'm no watchdog,
and they are probably on a timer.
Forest Security offers the latest in technology and security for our home.
Fenwick, now you have more time to think about it.
Well, wouldn't that be the natural thought process, right? If you call a time in front of a kicker, you feel like you're freezing them for a minute, right? Here you're freezing them for 20 minutes.
He's got to think about it for 20 minutes.
Right, but it's a chip shot kick, so I mean, it should be pretty easy.
In high school, it's not. College, the NFL, it is.
Right, but I got to believe, though, on this Fenwick team, there's a kicker that can make this kick pretty well. So, I think it's, I would be tempted if I'm Fenwick when the lights come back on, just kick it. All right, so that leaves 20 seconds left for St. Francis to pull a miracle, California State band trick, a bunch of laterals. But no, running the ball and getting stuffed and then hurrying your kicking team out there, I don't think I would do that. I mean, suppose you could run wide
the ball, try to go for the touchdown. If you don't get the touchdown, it's an incompletion. You have 3 incompletions, and then you kick the field goal.
Well, as long as you promise the quarterback's going to throw the ball so high over the field goal post, nobody can get it 3 times.
Or just out of bounds.
Well, whatever you got to do to make sure that nobody can catch it, and then you kick that field goal with 5 seconds ago. I suppose you could run that.
Would you consider doing a quarterback sneak with Hill? He would either run out of bounds or do the quarterback slide and then spike it to stop the clock. They can't stop the clock anymore with timeouts. Would you consider doing quarterback sneaks with Hill, knowing that the clock would run if you can't get out of bounds?
Yeah, this is a great line of questioning. And I think all those things are great if you're a pro team or really a highly trained college team. But I'm thinking here you are in high school, and that's a lot to expect to roll out. And first off, the quarterback's got to make the right decision to get down, stop the clock, or throw it out of bounds to stop the clock, or get out of bounds, I meant to say, to stop the clock, versus you get tackled and the clock is running, then your kicking team is running on it.
I mean, you can always spike it to stop the clock.
You could do that, right? But again, you're relying on some pretty key decisions by a player who's very good, right? But I think I just put the kicking team out there and just have them kick the one play after the lights come back on and go play defense on the kickoff. That's, I think, what I would play it.
Any chance we would see the old fake spike play that Dan Marino ran?
Yeah, I vote against it, but I guess you can't rule it out, but I would vote against it. I think, if anything, you hike it to the quarterback and you throw the ball out of bounds 2 or 3 times, eat the clock, so there's 10 seconds left for when you kick that field goal. I think you might go that route, but I would, if it were me, I would just put the field goal unit right out there right away, win it after the lights come back on, and it's going to be a while before those lights do come back on. That's kind of a problem. It reminds me of an Oakland Athletics game, right, when the earthquake happened. I mean, it's just a long delay.
We're supposed to have the lights on at 10:17.
Oh, where did you see that?
That's what he said.
The PA announcer said that. So 10:17. So that's some maintenance man has to go run around and find where the switch is, turn it on, and then they have to warm up a bit. So 10:17 might be when the switch gets flipped.
One of our commentators at SBS is Tim McKinney, who works at Triton.
Oh, right. He would know where the switch is.
Drive from Chicago and get the lights back on for us.
Yeah, he's working the St. Ignatius game, isn't he?
He's at the wrong field. He should have been here.
Yeah, then he could go run and turn on lights. I'm sure he knows where they are.
So we'll take one more break and then we'll come back. The lights are off here at Fort Halley Field, home of the Fenwick Friars.
Before we celebrated this special night, before we fell in love with our home all over again, we searched for a company to handle our entire remodel, from architecture and material selection to permits and complete construction with impeccable design. We found Heirroom.
Visit the Heirroom Design Build Center in Lincolnwood to explore your home's potential. Heirroom, architects, builders, remodelers. Your project begins at heirroom.com.
Sure, my family loves me. They bought me this sweet new collar. My dog bowl is always full of Fido's finest. Heck, they even take care of the personal stuff on my walk. Come on, who does that? But what really sealed the deal for me was when they installed a security system from Forest Security. Hey, I'm no watchdog, you know? Forest Security offers the latest in technology and security for our home. Yeah, I'm pretty good at keeping an eye on things, but I also have stuff to do, like sleep and socialize. A smart security system can provide around-the-clock awareness and generate instant smartphone alerts. They let the family know if something is wrong or suspicious. They do all of the work for us, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You know what they say, you can't trust a dog to watch your house or your sandwich. Call Forest Security today.
Call us today at 708-452-2000 or visit forestsecurity.com.
Are you looking for some good food after a Fenwick football game? Then head on over to O'Sullivan's Public House. Located on Madison Street in Forest Park, O'Sullivan's Public House has daily drink specials alongside a year-round beer garden. Open daily from 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. O'Sullivan's PH offers dinner until 10 p.m. Even cooler, O'Sullivan's offers a late-night menu until 11:30 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. On the weeknights, O'Sullivan's has a late-night menu until 11 p.m. And for the fall season, O'Sullivan's will offer 20% off food for athletes and coaches following home Fenwick games. For more information, go online to
We're almost ready for football, and a big thank you to the class of '73 coming out for tonight's game, the 50-year anniversary.
That's what that was. Wow, 50 years. Long time.
You were a handsome guy 50 years ago.
Yeah, I was probably a better volleyball player. Well, wait, maybe not. I was pretty young then. I might not have been a better volleyball player
basketball player.
That's what I did.
Getting blocked and striking out all the time.
Right. I did pitch when I was in 8th grade. We got into the World Series, but our team lost it.
Because of you?
Well, maybe, because I pitched one of the 2 games, and we lost 10-3. I remember that. The night before, we lost 3-0. My friend hit a 2-run home run to hit we call it an empty net home run. They're winning 1-0. So in the top half of the last inning, he hit a 2-run home run to make it 3-0. We call that an empty net home run.
24 seconds on the clock. St. Francis has fought hard. Fenwick is fighting hard as well. They deserve to win this game, but man, St. Francis shot themselves in the foot with some interesting play calls and some bad execution on defense.
You hit that on the head. They shot themselves in the foot. You're up by 2 scores in the 4th quarter. All you needed to do is keep the ball on the ground, keep the clock running, keep the ball in bounds, and then on 4th down, that strange, pooch punt that obviously didn't work. That has to go in the annals of probably should have made a different play call.
Yeah.
But it's easy for us to maybe thought that was going to work, or maybe they'd practiced it and it does work. You can see the lights starting to come on, but it takes a long time for them to warm up.
We need to get the fire trucks and the policemen in here with the police lights and the fireman lights from the cars.
Right, this is a Sandlot League, right? You bring your headlights and you put the cars to the outside.
You ever seen the movie The Legend of Bagger Vance?
Yeah, I saw it. Where are you going with that?
So back then they played golf in the afternoon only, and the tournament kept going because everybody was tied in the playoff hole. So it was after 8 o'clock, so they had to turn the lights on all the cars so that people could see the golf ball.
Right.
But the problem is they had old white lights back then, so that wasn't helping the golfers either because the ball is white.
Oh, all right. That was a movie then.
Well, it takes place in the 20s, though.
Right, yeah, they didn't have orange and bright light neon golf balls.
I don't know if we're going to have a situation like that tonight, but it's just something I wanted to bring.
Yeah, the football's brown. I don't even see stripes on it.
Look,
the NFL,
it's got to be full lights. You got to give both the special teams unit and the defense equal opportunity to see the ball and make a play.
Oh, absolutely. Well, they are coming on. It just takes a long time for these to warm up. I don't know what they're called. Somebody could text that in or chat that in, what kind of bulbs those are. It's not like an LED. You just turn it on and it flips on. They got to warm up. We used to have those in our garage. It used to drive me nuts. But they were bright, and they are bright, and that's what you need on a football field like this. There's just 4 banks of lights. Sorry?
This little light of mine.
Oh, no.
I'm going to let it shine.
Kyle is singing. We are in trouble.
Almost there. It's getting greener.
On the other side?
Well played, sir. Well played. The turf is looking greener, which means the lights are working.
Yeah, it really remains to be seen exactly what Fenwick is going to do here with 24 seconds, no timeout, so they can't get tackled. If they do...
They could. You can still have enough time to spike it.
Well, if they get tackled, though, and then they have to run off the field, and then the special teams have to run on the field. Now, they've had plenty of time to practice that. Or do you just come out and kick? That's what I would do. Or do you, like you were talking about, run a rollout, throw an incomplete pass? Throw an incomplete pass or two and use up some clock, then there would be no time left over.
Excellent work by our videographer showing the lights coming on.
Yeah, I like that.
The bright green.
But if they can eat up some clock now, then the kickoff can't be returned quite so easily with a play after that, perhaps. We'll see. We should place our wagers now on, are they kicking it right away or going to run a play or two first?
How much would that hurt for this Fenwick football team if the field goal is blocked or missed?
You always wonder that. They've both played well to this point. Both teams either deserve the win or both teams deserve the loss. It's a shame that maybe because of a mishandled snap, a team does win or lose over it.
Tony Romo still thinking about that botched snap he did in that Seahawks-Cowboys playoff game.
Right. Well, here we go.
Here we go. The lights are working, but not the Jumbotron yet, but it should be 1st and goal inside the 10.
They are running a play.
Rolls outside the pocket.
just like we talked, throw it so nobody can catch it.
And I understand it because if you get tackled in bounds, it takes about at least 5 seconds, if not more, to spike that ball. Especially for an offense. High school football, they're not used to spiking the ball situations, so you don't want to be in those kind of situations if you can avoid it.
Well, they might do it once or twice more here, just to use up the clock so that there's no time left or very little time left at the kickoff. What they want to arrange is that there can be no offensive plays after the kickoff, if there's going to be a kickoff even.
Would you consider getting the field goal kicker out sooner? If it's a bad snap, you could spike it and try it again.
Yeah, absolutely. You get 2 tries if there's a bad snap then.
13 seconds, clean pocket for Hill. He's flushed outside it now to the end zone. Looking for defensive pass interference, and I don't think they started the clock, partner.
That would be an awful call if that got made, because he's not making any attempt to complete a pass here. He's just using clock. In fact, I think if I were in his shoes, I'd throw it higher and further. All right, now they're looking like they're going to kick it here.
I would, because if it's a bad snap, you spike it and you try it again.
Right. So the third, right, that's the conventional wisdom. You get 2 tries if it's a bad snap.
Or you could do a fake kick and do a little rollout pass for the touchdown.
So the game is coming down to this and then a subsequent kickoff.
St. Francis doing everything they can to rattle the kicker with the horns. Good snap, the hold is good. The kick is partially blocked. Through the uprights, and good! Bob, I don't know if that's how you draw it up, but it worked.
It went through the uprights, and that is how you drew it up. They ate the clock on the rollouts. Nobody can catch the ball. They kicked the field goal.
Well, it looked like it was partially blocked.
It looked like it could have been, yeah.
Well, watch it again.
Yeah, you got the replay right here coming. Can't really tell. Well, Fenwick pulled this game out of the.
They pulled it out of their rear, pulled a rabbit out of their hat.
And St. Francis has to be saying, man, we pulled out defeat from the jaws of victory. They had this game won many different ways. But a very, very resilient Fenwick team pulled this out.
Look, give credit to Merrick Hill. He made the plays when he needed to. He wasn't perfect tonight, but he made up for that interception with some great rolling outside the pocket.
Well, both quarterbacks were good. 17-16, amazing. Well, they got one play. We're going to have some fun on these laterals, I think.
Well, you could call for a fair catch to give your team more time. Yeah,
you got one offensive set, right. And they're not going to have to run through the band because the band is here and the stands are right, so they're not going to be in the end zone running around.
Yeah, as Scott Van Pelt says, we might see a lot of pitchy woo-woo.
Yeah, that would be what's going to happen here. And that's got to be fun. You wonder how often that gets practiced.
Will we see the miracle at Triton? At the 25, still on his feet. He's got to go down and finally does.
So they decided to let it come down to one more offensive play. So if Fenwick had run one more rollout and thrown it deep, there wouldn't have been enough time for this play to happen.
Like I said, I don't think they started the clock either. I love to watch that after the game. I don't think they started the clock on that roll outside the pocket.
Oh, you thought it should have taken more time than the 6 seconds it took?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I'll watch it again.
But the clock doesn't stop until the ball lands. So if he had thrown it a long bomb from the 10-yard line, and the clock can't stop until the ball lands on somebody's car.
That's what's interesting about football versus hockey. Hockey, you cannot shoot the puck out of play intentionally, whereas football, you can throw the ball as far as you want to waste time.
Well, you can intentionally. It's just not in from your own zone. Right. Now, if I were St. Francis here, I'd put all receivers and running backs in, even at the line, because you need ball handlers here.
Time for pitchy woo-woo.
Right. Here's a pitch.
Still on his feet. That's not going to be enough. Fenwick, incredibly, wins by 1 point.
What a fantastic comeback in the fourth quarter.
Fenwick won, but you could also make the argument St. Francis lost it.
I'm sure that's what St. Francis is thinking. If I were the coaching staff at St. Francis, that's exactly what happened. St. Francis lost. But Fenwick earned it. They did make the plays, like you said, in the entire fourth quarter.
Good game from Milivojevic, but I think Merrick Hill was just a little bit better tonight.
Yeah, we'd have to look at the stats to know that for sure. I mean, it's just a 1 point game. You have to say both teams are even, just somebody won by a point.
So we got to do the post-game show. Don't go anywhere. The post-game show brought to you by SBS. Bob's going to pick out a player for me. Nate Marshall, Luis Avalos, or Merrick Hill?
Well, yeah, I mean, they have to go with Merrick Hill, but I think he's going to get interviewed more times. But I think you have to go with the quarterback. He made the plays at the end to win the game.
Not the kicker to give them the win?
Not the kicker, no. They go with the quarterback.
I agree. Merrick Hill, it wasn't a perfect game, but he made enough plays to get him the win.
Play after play after play, especially in that fourth quarter. But, he was terrific. Giving it to the kicker for one play, I think if you can talk to Hill, that's the way to go. So, and ask him about his future college experience, what he's looking for.
Ask him if this is going to happen at a college field where the lights go out.
Ask him if it's going to happen when he's on the Giants someday and see what he says.
They could certainly use a quarterback. Daniel Jones didn't look very good on Sunday Night Football.
Yeah, maybe I should have said Jets.
Well, Zach Wilson looked better than Daniel Jones did.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a long way to get to the pros, but right now he can dream. What a great comeback! And there's the prayer at midfield. I like this.
This is cool.
Yes,
it's a huge tradition of the Chicago Catholic League.
Yeah, I like it. I'm a little surprised. There's not some Fenwick players in the middle of that. Just saying, but maybe they have their own routine. Every now and then we'll play a team from one of those schools, and our team, our non-religious school, will join in the prayers as well, and they're very, very welcoming.
Big win for Fenwick, a tough loss for St. Francis.
Oh, absolutely a tough loss, and especially in football. There's not that many games every year. Every win really matters. And this is a game they didn't just lose it. They had it won.
They had it won. They just needed one more first down or one more good punt, and they probably would have won it. But you know what? Fenwick made the plays, and all that matters is who's winning at the end of 0-0s on the scoreboard.
Right. Well, I think what we found out for real is that the St. Francis coach was not listening to the broadcast, or he would have gone for it on 4th and 3.
Or at least put his own punter back there to punt it.
Oh, man, if you put in a punter. I just can't believe a pooch punt. And, of course, did that 20 yards matter? Yeah, it did. Because maybe then the quarterback would have been tackled at the 20. Maybe there wouldn't have been a push out of bounds because they were getting tense, getting close to the end zone, and they would have had to kick a 40-yard field goal that wouldn't have gone in. I absolutely believe it made a difference.
The analytics matter, possessions matter, every play matters. You don't think it matters until 0-0s are on the scoreboard.
Oh, it's so true. There's so many players that think, well, if this doesn't go our way, no big deal. We'll come back from this play. It's just not that way. You have to play your hardest and make the smart decisions on every play. It's, sometimes you don't get the roll that time, but you still have to make the play with the most odds of winning.
You got to play heads-up football 100% of the time if you can. Well, we're going to take a break. Post-game show coming up next. But for now, that does it for our play-by-play broadcast. For Eric Ratchey and Chris Angela and Bob Vilsaway, I'm Kyle Smith signing off. 17-16 win for Fenwick, and we're going downstairs for the post-game show.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. SBS offers live telecasts on Channel 59.3, YouTube, or Twitch. We include pre- and post-game interviews with the players.
It started in the locker room. All the boys were getting going before the game and stuff, and we kind of found a little click at the beginning of the game, so I think that's what got us going.
We also include digital live statistics, play-by-play commentary, team highlight reels, and even more than that. Go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com or search Sports Broadcast Solutions on YouTube. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. At SBS, we offer a professional broadcasting experience for the non-professional athlete. Just like the pros, we offer everything for you. Play-by-play commentary.
A no-hitter at Kane County Stadium. 15 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 error, and that's it.
Color commentary, highlight reels, recruiting videos, and much, much more. Unlike our competitors, we zoom in on the action and always have a live scoreboard with a live time code. If you're ready to have your next sporting event feel like CBS Sports, then make sure to call Sports Broadcast Solutions today. Our phone number is 330-957-7653, or you can go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Missing your child's sporting event just plain stinks. But you don't have to worry about that anymore, thanks to Sports Broadcast Solutions. SBS is a live broadcasting network, as well as covering your on-demand needs, recruiting videos, highlight reels, and much, much more. We can broadcast live to any website, and we also post as much on-demand content as you need. For more information about SBS, check out our website at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Let SBS broadcast your sporting event. We have experience and can generate excitement and permanent digital memories for your team.
Tonight. That time, finally a goal for the Stampede.
We have professional videographers using high-definition modern-day cameras, color analysts, and play-by-play announcers with state-of-the-art, classy graphical scoreboards to keep you updated. Plus, we have commercials to advertise your team, club, or sponsor, and us. Plus, we do pregame and postgame interviews.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the post-game show brought to you by Marion Central Catholic. My name's Kyle Smith. But my name doesn't matter. These young ladies matter. It's senior night as the Hurricanes win a battle down the stretch, 48-46.
Hi, I'm Carrie Kramer. I swim 50 breast, 50 free, and 100 back.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Instead of spending hundreds or thousands with all these college recruiting sites, let us put together your college highlight reel. For just a fraction of your potential college scholarship and significantly less than these recruiting services, we got this. In addition, we put together highlight reels for teams, including high school, your club team, or travel team.
My teammate gave me a great pass, and I just took it. The other team slashed me, took the opportunity, saw where the goalie was weak, and I just shot it there.
Solon, O'Connor, and Marsh back on defense. And Marsh gets a blowout. We got a breakaway at 2-0. A shot, and it's goal! So 3-3. The power play was officially over.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you who would like to broadcast or live stream your event, or maybe make a highlight tape, but would like a sponsor to fund the event, SBS has a myriad of ways to advertise your sponsor during our broadcasts. We have commercials. We have on-air reads by the announcers.
Albatross Physical Therapy and Wellness specializes in pain-free.
We have graphics, and we have watermarks. Finally, Sports Broadcast Solutions can create a commercial for you or your sponsor. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you that just want raw footage of your sporting event, but no play-by-play or color commentary, you just need us to live stream video from the event over the internet. We will live stream your event on YouTube on our Sports Broadcast Solutions channel. In addition, we also have a dedicated channel on YouTube for live streaming at SBS Livestream. And if you need multiple channels, we can utilize Facebook Livestream and Instagram Live on our channel as well. Options include commercials from your sponsors, professional scoreboard graphics are still available, and of course, yes, pre- and post-game interviews are available as an option if you want.
We've been working really hard this whole summer and stuff.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. We broadcast sporting events for people of all ages, including adult leagues, high school leagues, and kids. Complete with professional-looking graphics, broadcasters, color analysis, and commercials. We do pre- and post-game interviews with the players. In addition, Sports Broadcast Solutions does highlight films, including college recruiting reels, highlight films you'd see on sports news programs, and just simply highlight films for fun. Sports Broadcast Solutions also provides raw footage and live streams if you'd like. Subscribe to us and listen to our professional talk videos about relevant topics in the pro and college ranks. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, contact us at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com and become part of the digital world. This is Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone. Check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com and become part of the digital sporting world.
Before we celebrated this special night, before we fell in love with our home all over again, We searched for a company to handle our entire remodel, from architecture and material selection to permits and complete construction with impeccable design. We found Airroom.
Visit the Airroom Design Build Center in Lincolnwood to explore your home's potential. Airroom, architects, builders, remodelers. Your project begins at airroom.com.
Sure, my family loves me. They bought me this sweet new collar. My dog bowl is always full of Fido's finest. Heck, they even take care of the personal stuff on my walk. Come on, who does that? But what really sealed the deal for me was when they installed a security system from Forest Security. Hey, I'm no watchdog, you know? Forest Security offers the latest in technology and security for our home. Yeah, I'm pretty good at keeping an eye on things, but I also have stuff to do, like sleep and socialize. A smart security system can provide around-the-clock awareness and generate instant smartphone alerts. They let the family know if something is wrong or suspicious. They do all of the work for us, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You know what they say, you can't trust a dog to watch your house or your sandwich. Call Forest Security today.
Call us today at 708-452-2000 or visit forestsecurity.com.
Are you looking for some good food after a Fenwick football game? Then head on over to O'Sullivan's Public House. Located on Madison Street in Forest Park, O'Sullivan's Public House has daily drink specials alongside a year-round beer garden. Open daily from 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. O'Sullivan's PH offers dinner until 10 p.m. Even cooler, O'Sullivan's offers a late-night menu until 11:30 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. On the weeknights, O'Sullivan's has a late-night menu until 11 p.m. And for the fall season, O'Sullivan's will offer 20% off food for athletes and coaches following home Fenwick games. For more information, go online to o'sullivansfp.com.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. SBS offers live telecasts on Channel 59.3, YouTube, or Twitch. We include pre- and post-game interviews with the players.
You know, I started in the locker room. All the boys were getting going before the game and stuff, and we kind of found a little click at the beginning of the game, so I think that's what got us going.
We also include digital live statistics, play-by-play commentary, team highlight reels, and even more than that. Go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com or search Sports Broadcast Solutions on YouTube. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. At SBS, we offer a professional broadcasting experience for the non-professional athlete. Just like the pros, we offer everything for you. Play-by-play commentary.
A no-hitter at Kane County Stadium. 15 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 error, and that's it.
Color commentary, highlight reels, recruiting videos, and much, much more. Unlike our competitors, we zoom in on the action and always have a live scoreboard with a live time code. If you're ready to have your next sporting event feel like CBS Sports, then make sure to call Sports Broadcast Solutions today. Our phone number is 330-957-7653, or you can go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Missing your child's sporting event just plain stinks. But you don't have to worry about that anymore, thanks to Sports Broadcast Solutions. SBS is a live broadcasting network, as well as covering your on-demand needs, recruiting videos, highlight reels, and much, much more. We can broadcast live to any website, and we also post as much on-demand content as you need. For more information about SBS, check out our website at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Let SBS broadcast your sporting event. We have experience and can generate excitement and permanent digital memories for your team.
Tonight. That time, finally a goal for the Stampede!
We have professional videographers using high-definition modern-day cameras, color analysts, and play-by-play announcers with state-of-the-art, classy graphical scoreboards to keep you updated. Plus, we have commercials to advertise your team, club, or sponsor, and us. Plus, we do pregame and postgame interviews.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the post-game show brought to you by Marion Central Catholic. My name's Kyle Smith, but my name doesn't matter. These young ladies matter. It's senior night as the Hurricanes win a battle down the stretch, 48-46.
Hi, I'm Carrie Kramer. I swim 50 breast, 50 free, and 100 back.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Instead of spending hundreds or thousands with all these college recruiting sites, let us put together your college highlight reel. For just a fraction of your potential college scholarship and significantly less than these recruiting services, we got this. In addition, we put together highlight reels for teams, including high school, your club team, or travel team.
My teammate gave me a great pass, and I just took it. The other team slashed me, took the opportunity, saw where the goalie was weak, and I just shot it there.
Solon, O'Connor, and Marsh back on defense. And Marsh gets a blowout. We got a breakaway at 2-0. A shot, and a goal! So 3-3. The power play was officially over.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs.